The following is a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network.
Now on, hits a single to right field. That will score. Jaroszewski and the Stars take the lead on the RBI single by Hansen to right field.
Wells fights to keep his shoulder up. And his pin.
2:20 remains in the game. 4th and 17. The Vikings capitalize early on a big one. What will the Squirrels do? Deep pass down the field. Cooper Johnson and Mason O'Malley. What a fantastic catch by Cooper Johnson.
Riddle got Kindred down low. Iniger had it knocked free. Gets it back. Muscles his way in. Got it.
Let's turn things over to the broadcast booth. The pregame show starts now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Beautiful Kindred, North Dakota. I'm Mike Bernier. I'm along with Brooks Huber, and we're going to bring you some Kindred Vikings baseball as they take on the Thompson Tommies from Post 181. And we're set for a good matchup tonight, Brooks, and I'm looking forward to a fun game tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a fun game, just like you are. We have a doubleheader tonight between these two teams, so a lot of baseball action ahead of us, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, we'll be covering both games. Right now, the coaches are out exchanging lineup cards with the umpires and going over the rules and the ground rules. And both games tonight are counter games. So, in other words, both of these games count in the Legion standings. So, we'll be bringing you both games tonight on Magnitude Sports, and we'll come back with the starting lineups for Game 1 after this.
MLGC story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a fourth-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
Cheyenne Septic Service is your go-to for residential and commercial pumping of your septic and holding tanks. Plus, they provide pre-sale real estate pumping and inspections. Don't buy a new home or sell your current home without it. Cheyenne Septic Service is always on call 24/7 for any emergency services that may be required at your home or business. Call 701-317-2756. Cheyenne Septic Service, a local business in Leonard, North Dakota.
And welcome back to Kindred. Again, Mike Bernier along with Brooks Huber covering Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. Let's start with your starting lineups. First for the Thompson Tommies, Post 181. Leading off and playing at third base, number 5, and catching and leading off is Reese Berberich. Playing over at third base and batting second will be number 3, Braden Wolfgram. The shortstop bats third. He's number 13, Thomas Schumacher. The designated hitter bats cleanup. He's number 12, William Welke. In center field and batting fifth, the center fielder will be Brody Gibson. Batting sixth and pitching, Drew Overby. Batting seventh for the Tommies will be the left fielder, Jonathan Muse. And batting eighth and playing out in right field will be Sean O'Hearn. Braden Tice bats ninth. He plays over at second base and dons number 1. The Thompson Tommies are coached by Nate Solis and assisted by Brian Overby. The reserves for the Tommies, number 14, Jordan Gustafson, number 8, Isaac Beeland, and number 18, Braden Fowle. For your Kindred Vikings, they're Post 117. Leading off and pitching for the Vikings will be number 11, Jack McDonald. Batting second and playing over at shortstop, number 33, Carson Krebsbach. The third baseman bats third. He's number 14, Grant Spellhog, and batting cleanup will be the center fielder, Owen Hoyme. Number 23 in catching and batting fifth will be Bryce Whipple. Batting sixth, the left fielder Luke Dahl. He dons number 6. Number 24, Nick Dahl bats seventh. He's playing out in right field, and yes, they are brothers, Nick and Luke Dahl. Number 16, Carson Andel bats eighth. He plays over at first base, and Andy Traum is playing at second base. He's batting ninth tonight. So on the mound will be Jack McDonald, and he'll be throwing to Bryce Whipple. As here we are in Kindred, North Dakota, we got Jackie Traum, mother of Andy Traum, doing the PA for us tonight in this B-Legion matchup. The Kindred Vikings are 1-2 on the season. Here are the reserves for the Kindred Vikings. Number 15, Kelby Erdman. Number 19, Parker Jordheim. Number 2, Jonah Larson. Number 18, David Patterson. Number 0, Zach Johnson. And number 45, Tate Miller. Number 9, Dylan Stone is also in there. I'm sure Dylan Stone will see a lot of courtesy running tonight and see some action out in the field in this doubleheader. Brooks Huber, were you ready for some baseball tonight? A good doubleheader?
I think we are. We're getting close to the first pitch here on Flag Day. So it's good to see Kindred wearing those Star-Spangled Banner jerseys right there.
Absolutely. We're getting ready for the national anthem, and we'll let it go from here. Excellent rendition of the national anthem. I failed to mention earlier, Oakley Dubord is the head coach for the Kindred Vikings Legion Ball Club. He'll be assisted by the first base coach, Connor Rowland. So the Kindred Vikings taking on the Thompson Tommies. As mentioned earlier, the Kindred Vikings are 1-2 on the season. It's a warm evening, but as you know, the Canadian fires are sending down some haze down into the North Dakota-Minnesota region. Quality of air isn't the greatest, so there is some haze over here, and but the wind is blowing out. Looks like straightaway center field, the wind's blowing out fairly strong, as you can see from the flag out there. And just so you know, Brooks Huber's my partner in crime here tonight as we announce this ball game. I'm running the camera, so I'm kind of doing a little bit of dual action. I'll do my best to kind of keep up with things and make sure I'm keeping track of this, but forgive me for some of the flub ups because I will not keep track of it 100% of the time. But I'll do my best to keep things rolling as Jack McDonald for the Vikings takes his warm-up pitches. His battery mate, Bryce Whipple, behind the dish. And again, out on the field, over at first base is Carson Andel. That's Andy Traum at second base. Shortstop is Carson Krebsbach, and third base, Grant Spellhog. Luke Dahl is out in left field, and out in center field, Owen Hoyme. And out in right field, we got Nick Dahl. No designated hitter for the Vikings today. They're batting 9. I failed to mention earlier for the lineup for the Tommies, the designated hitter, William Welke, is actually batting for the first baseman, number 9, Drew, man, I can't even read my own writing, Odenbach. Drew Odenbach. And here's the first pitch of the game, and it's a high pop fly, and it's out of play. Bryce Whipple took a peek, but ran out of room. Here's the leadoff hitter. He's the catcher, Reese Berberich. He wears number 5. Leadoff hitter, right-handed batter for the Tommies. 0-1 the count. We're just getting started, folks. 0-0 ball game. And here's a pitch from Jack. Looks like a breaking ball. Down low and away. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. And the pitch. Fastball out. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jack McDonald on the hill for the Vikings. Very fine pitcher. And the pitch. Fastball low and away. And here's a 3-1. Fastball, pop foul again. That's out of play. Back over the press box. As you can see, basically where the camera view is basically where I'm standing. I'm standing right behind the camera. I've never had a foul ball come into the press box, as of yet.
Well, I hope you're not jinxing us right now.
Fastball up and away, or up and in, I should say. And Berberich draws a walk.
Yeah, all 3 Kindred games I did yesterday, there were a lot of walks, so we'll see if that trend continues in today's doubleheader.
Yep, the key to throwing pitches is working ahead and getting the strike calls. Braden Wolfgram now batting for the Tommies, and he takes strike 1.
I'll tell you what, this ump is a little less animated than the one yesterday. He was going full out for these strike calls yesterday.
Braden Wolfgram, the third baseman, bats second. And here's a pitch. Line drive out into right field, and it falls in front of Nick Dahl for a base hit. Berberich is going to try to make third, and he'll get there successfully. So the Tommies have something brewing here. Runners on first and third with nobody out. Wolfgram, I should say, Braden Wolfgram drops a single into right field right in front of Nick Dahl. No chance for Dahl to make that catch. Line drive single. That'll bring up the shortstop, Thomas Schumacher. Excuse me. And the pitch from McDonald. Fastball up. Ball 1. More than likely see Wolfgram try to take off, try to draw a throw down to second base. And here's a pitch. Ball high once again. 2-0. Donald momentarily loses the baseball as it's thrown back from the catcher Whipple. Runners on first and third, nobody out. 2-0 the count. Pitch, fastball over, strike 1. Donald looks in, gets a sign from the catcher. That's Bryce Whipple. And here's a pitch. It's a fastball up, way high. 3 balls, 1 strike. McDonald up to 12 pitches already. And there's nobody out. And here's a pitch. Swing and a drive out to right center field. Owen Hoyme on the run. He can't get there, and it falls in. Nick Dahl picks it up and scoots it in. 1 run scores. Berberich comes across to score. And the runner from first, Wolfgram, will stop at third base. 1 run is in on the double from Schumacher. Berberich scores from third. Wolfgram all the way to third base. And that brings up the cleanup hitter, the DH, William Welke.
Great start for Thompson early on in this one. I don't think they could have drawn it up any better.
Yep, patient. You draw a walk, and then you add a single, then a gapper, scores a run, and McDonald fires a fastball, and it's up high once again, ball one. Wolfgram on third, Schumacher on second. Nobody out. And the pitch, fastball in the dirt. Nice stop by Bryce Whipple, the catcher. The count rolls along at two balls and no strikes. Donald gets his sign, thrown from the stretch. Throws a fastball up high again, 3 balls and no strikes.
He's having a really hard time right now getting to the strike zone.
And the pitch. Swing of the line drive out to right field. That falls in front of Nick Dahl again. Wolfgram scores easily. Schumacher held up at third base. It's 2-0 in favor of the Tommies, as McDonald has yet to set down a hitter. Line drive single into right field. Right in front of Nick Dahl. Wolfgram scores from third. Schumacher moves from second to third. Welke on at first with an RBI single. Brings up the center fielder, Brody Gibson. Another right-handed hitter. Steps to the plate. Third hit of the inning. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. With possibly a foul tip into the glove of Whipple. 0-1 the count. And the pitch. Swing and a high pop fly out to second base area. Andy Trom's got it measured. He makes the catch. And there's one away. That's a big out for Jack McDonald as Gibson pops out to the second baseman. It's important here to minimize the damage. We got the first 4 hitters on with a walk and 3 hits. Now Drew Overby, he's the pitcher. He steps to the plate. Swing, he tries to bunt and he fouls it off. The ball did come up and hit him, but he was still in the batter's box, so he's not out. It's just strike one for Overby. Overby, another right-handed hitter, trying to extend this lead. And here's a pitch. Fastball up and away. Now he's coming home, and he's safe. Man, a little lapse there as Whipple threw the ball back to the pitcher. Schumacher from third just took off and scored. So that'll go as a stolen base and a run scored for Schumacher.
Pretty gutsy base running right there, but ended up paying off in the end.
Yeah, it surprised everybody, including yours truly, because I had no idea. I looked down at my scorecard and I was trying to read things, and I look up and there's a runner crossing home plate.
And that was almost uncontested as the second he got home to the ball came.
Strike called. Count rolls along at 1-2. Still a runner on at first base. That's William Welke. Drew Overby, the hitter. He's a pitcher in this ball game. Tommies lead it 3-0. Swing and a ground ball out to second base. Trom's got to go to his left and field it. He knocks it down, fields it cleanly. But nice hustle by Overby as he busted down the line. No chance for Trom to throw that runner out. It was just a ground ball as Trom was running to second to try to cover for the stolen base as Welke was trying to steal. And then the ground ball, of course, goes right behind Trom, and he's got to go back to his left and try to knock that ball down, which he did, but no chance to throw at the runner. And here's a pitch. It's ball one. This is the batter, Jonathan Muse, spelled M-U-H-S. He's the left fielder, Jonathan Muse. Runners on first and second. Little throw down to second base, but not really that close to get the runner. 4 hits in the inning for the Tommies. Here's a pitch for McDonald. It's a fastball over, strike one. 3-0 in favor of the Tommies. We're still in the top of the first. We're just getting going. McDonald is up to 25 pitches, And here's the 1-1 pitch. And it hit him. Dead ball. Welke advances to third base. Overbeat out down to second. Then Muse reaches on the hit batsman.
That's going to make it bases loaded here in the top of the first.
You might see a mound visit here fairly quickly from Oakley Dubord, head coach for the Legion Club. Now batting, the right fielder, Sean O'Hearn, with 1 out. And the pitch, fastball away, ball 1. Nice backhand stop by Bryce Whipple. Braden Tice is on deck for the Tommies. And the pitch, fastball lined into right field, another base hit. This one goes right to Nick Dahl. 1 run is in, and the runner will be held at third base. Man, the Tommies coming out swinging the bat. That's our 5th hit of the inning. 4th run comes across the score as Welke scores to make it 4-0. Overby down to third base. Muse up to second. RBI single for O'Hearn. Brings up the 9th batter in the lineup, the second baseman, Braden Tice. He takes ball 1. Vikings got their work cut out for them. They find themselves down in the first inning, 4-0. Fastball over, strike 1. McDonald trying to minimize the damage. You've already given up the 4 runs, but the Tommies still battling here, have the bases loaded with 1 out. It's important to work your way through this and try to, again, minimize that damage and get your bats into the dugout and try to put up some runs of your own. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Whipple, and it's 1-2. All right-handed hitters for the Tommies. Here's a pitch from number 11, McDonald, and it hits him. Another run's going to come across the score. Overby scores. Jonathan Muse goes down to third base. O'Hearn up to second. Tice reaches on the hit batsman. He gets a run batted in for that.
At what point would you take a mound visit right now?
Well, it's kind of up to the coach and the relationship that you have with your pitcher. In some cases, I believe it settles down the pitcher. You know, you want to go out there, but you don't want to wreck all your mound visits either. But, yeah, it's good to just kind of give them a break, just give them a breather, just say, you know, hey, in the grand scheme of things, all you need is a ground ball and a double play to get out of this inning and get our bats back into the dugout, like I said before. Strike 1, and Berberich is the batter. He started off this rally inning with a walk. That seemed like a long time ago, but he's the 10th batter to hit here in this game for the Tommies. Ball 1, fastball away. McDonald up to 34 pitches. But, yeah, it just kind of depends on the philosophy there, Brooks. You know, it just depends. You can talk to your pitcher, you know, as you're sitting in the dugout. Swing and a miss by Berberich. But sometimes gather your fielders, but there's really nothing to say. The fielders aren't making any miscues. You know, the balls have been hard hit, clean singles. There's no errors. Sometimes you just want to calm everybody down as Berberich laces a single into left field, and they're waving around the runner from second, and he's safe. And Whipple cannot get a hold of the baseballs. It's in the dirt, backed up nicely by Jack McDonald. So that'll be an RBI single, 2 RBI single for Berberich. He does move up on the throw to second base. Muse comes across the score. O'Hearn scores from second. And Braden Tice moves all the way to third base. And here's that mound visit
That we were talking about, yeah.
And we'll see if there's going to be a pitching change. It doesn't look like that. Oakley Dubord out to talk to his pitcher and settle down his fielders. But so much of the game, we were talking before the game about momentum in baseball. There isn't anybody making any errors. Okay, the Tommies are putting the bat on the ball. They've drawn a few walks, yes, so they've got a couple hit batters. But they're hitting the ball too, and they're just line drives, perfectly placed. And what do you do as a pitcher? You know, you try to work ahead. You try to get the one of those line drives and maybe find a glove out there for you, and you're out of this inning.
I mean, yeah, when he throws strikes, they're hitting line drives. When he doesn't, they're getting walks, so he's kind of getting a little bit unlucky out there right now.
Yep.
No matter what he's doing, it's not working.
And let's be frank, the Tommies are putting the ball on the
Tommies
bat
are
on the
doing
ball,
a great job right now.
hitting some line drives and hitting it right into the gaps. There's been 3 line drive singles right out to Nick Dahl, right in front of Nick Dahl. Nothing Nick Dahl can do about these. These are just line drives right in front of him. He's playing where he's supposed to, doing his gig. That'll bring up Braden Wolfgram. He singled earlier this inning. Now he laces another one to right center. Nick Dahl, this one gets over his head all the way to right field. 2 runs are going to come across the score. Traum throws home, not in time. And the runner will stay at second base.
And that's going to be the 7th hit for the Tommies, making it 9-0.
Yeah, that was a hard hit ball again. So a 2-run double for Wolfgram. Tice scores. Burbridge scores.
That's going to be ball 1. So it's a 1-0 count with 1 out. McDonald has 38 pitches, and we're only in the top of the first with 1 out. That's going to be 2-0.
Sorry about that. Kind of lost my voice for a moment. Wolfgram out at second base. He tries to steal, throw down to third base. It hits Wolfgram. So he's safe, a stolen base. The batter, Thomas Schumacher. He's the shortstop. He had a 2-run double in the first and stole home on a heads-up base running play. Here's a pitch. Line foul, out of play.
I know that one was foul, but they're making great contact, the Tommies are.
Absolutely.
With anything. They're really having their way in this first inning.
Wolfgram's double to right was hard hit. Nick Dahl thought he had it played, but it just kept carrying over his head.
And
now
that ball's going to go past him.
Oh, Schumacher laces a single into left field, but it gets past the left fielder, Lucas Dahl. Backed up nicely by Owen Hoyme out in center field. So that'll be an RBI single for Schumacher. He reaches second base on the first error of the game for Kindred. That'll be E7 on Lucas Dahl. But an RBI single makes it 10. Is it 10-0?
10-0, yeah, with 8 hits.
Schumacher drives in his second run. And here's a pitch from McDonald, and that one's laced into left field and falls in front of Luke Dahl. Schumacher being sent home, and he'll score. That was the designated hitter, William Welke, who laces his second RBI single of the inning to start this ball game.
We might have to start inspecting their bats down there because they're hitting everything that they want.
Yeah, they're getting it on the sweet spot, and the ball's taken off. 11-0 in favor of the Tommies. And the pitch, fastball up and away, ball 1.
I mean, I rarely seen this type of hitting in such an early part of this game.
Yeah. McDonald doing a nice job of keeping his composure. And
you say that as he gets hit there.
As I say that, he hits him. It looked like it was a breaking ball that got away from McDonald. There's no intent there. Just got away from him, and it hits the batter, Brody Gibson. Welke moves down to second base. It's the third batter that McDonald has hit this inning. And Connor Rowland's coming out to the mound. They're going to have to make a pitching change because this is the second visit. McDonald.
And yeah, I think this is the right time to make a pitching change.
Yep.
We've seen 11 runs now so far in this early part of the inning.
Yeah. I do have to say one thing about Jack McDonald. He kept his composure. He didn't shrug his shoulders. He just kept throwing with confidence.
He kept his chin up, and that was great.
He kept his chin up, and he showed a very good attitude there, and people will notice that. So we're going to have a new pitcher here. Why don't we take a break and come back in 1 minute? You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
For your remodeling and service needs on residential or commercial water heaters, sewers, drain cleaning, floor heating, and more, contact DJ's Plumbing and Heating in Castleton. The team at DJ's Plumbing and Heating has over 43 years of experience and is an officially licensed master plumber. DJ's Plumbing and Heating. Give them a call today at 701-347-5253 or visit them in person at 1002 Front Street in Castleton.
All right, good evening. We're back. Kindred, North Dakota. Thompson Tommies are having their way here in the top of the first inning. They put up 11 runs, and we got one out. Let's just face it, the Thompson Tommies are just putting the bat on the ball, and they hit line drive after line drive. There was one minor error out in left field, but didn't really hurt anything.
Yeah, that's not the reason why there's such a big discrepancy right now.
Yep, and it's, Jack McDonald again, showing a great attitude, kept his shoulders up. In fact, he's going to go out and play shortstop, and he'll be the leadoff hitter for the Vikings in the bottom of the first inning.
If we can get there, yeah.
If we could get there.
It's been a minute here in the top of the first, to say the least.
Yep. Carson Krebsbach is in to pitch for the Vikings. He's number 33. He was playing short, so that'll just be a swap between Jack McDonald, who was the starting pitcher, and Krebsbach, who was the starting shortstop. They'll just switch around.
I love when there's an even swap like that. It makes our job a lot easier up here.
And wow, the hitter shows bunt. Drew Overby, he's the pitcher. He shows bunt after his team has put up 11 runs, and he's trying to lay down, I don't know, sacrifice bunt to move the runners up, I guess.
Yeah, I'm surprised with how this game's going. Why show bunt? Because your team is swinging it right now, and that's, I guess.
And he does lay down a bunt, and it does not remove the runners over, so he'll just reach on a fielder's choice. As Krebsbach made the nice play, he just picked the ball up, threw it over to Spellhog at third, and they got the lead runner. So an interesting choice of coaching there.
I'm not sure if I agree with that. I'm not a big baseball guy, but by the looks of that may not have been the right move.
Well, if I was the Vikings team, I wouldn't be upset by that because it gave them the lead out, and it hopefully worked towards getting them out of this inning. So Overby reaches on a fielder's choice. Welke is out at third base. There's now two down. Strike one to Jonathan Muse, a left fielder, and he laces one up the middle. That's a base hit. Welke's being waved around from third, and he will come across the score. Play at third base is in time for the out. The run did score, and the umpire did make the call that the run did score in time. So Jonathan Muse laces an RBI single into into center field. Overby, who had reached on a fielder's choice, is thrown out. I believe that was a center fielder, the pitcher to the third baseman. So we'll call it an 8-1-5 put out for now, and that's the third out. And Brody Gibson came across the score. After one half inning, the Thompson Tommies put up 12 runs, and the Kindred Vikings coming to bat. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Does a ghost pepper wing that doesn't send you into tears make any sense? Sure does to us. That's why Popeye's ghost pepper wings are more flavorful than fireful. Because in NOLA, we like to taste our food, not cry over it. We don't make sense. We make chicken. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
And At Popeyes, we've got a feast for your family. Whether it's spicy or mild fried chicken or tenders, our brand new homestyle mac and cheese, or any of our other delicious sides, there's something for everyone at the table. Try it today and earn points with Popeyes Rewards.
And we're back. Kindred Vikings baseball and Magnitude Sports. Vikings have their hands full as they're trying to scratch back into this ball game after one half inning. Thompson Tommies put up 12 runs in the top of the first inning on 10 hits. There was one error for Kindred, but really had nothing to do with any of the scoring. Jack McDonald, the starting pitcher, got knocked out in the top of the first inning. He leads off here, and he takes strike two. He's got a 1-2 count. So it's important for the Vikings to be patient, try to scratch back into this. You don't have to score 12 runs in the first inning. You just got to scratch your way back in, get a couple here, get a couple there, scratch back, and work your way back into this ball game. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's going to be right up the middle, and the Vikings start off nicely. The nice base hit up the middle for Jack McDonald. Got to hand it to Carson Krebsbach. He came in and faced two hitters, one which bunted, and Krebsbach threw him out through the leadoff hitter. That's going to fall in there, and McDonald had nowhere to go there. It was one of those difficult decisions. Is it going to fall? Is it not going to fall? Is the center fielder going to catch it? Is he not going to catch it? And so it'll just go down as a fielder's choice for Krebsbach. And so when you're the hitter, you get a little bit frustrated on that, but I don't think there's anything McDonald can do because it fell right in front of the center fielder. Number 14, and they throw him out. The old 8-6 put out on the fielder's choice, and there's one away. Brings up Grant Spellhaug. He's the third baseman, big number 14. He's got some power. He's got a 1-1 count on him. Timeout called on the field. Krebsbach's now at first base, and he's now the pitcher for the Vikings. And the pitch, fastball called strike two. And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a ground ball, pounded out to short. Chance for a double play. Low throw in the dirt, but they can't complete the double play. Had first baseman Drew Odenbach fielded that ball, caught that baseball. That would have been a 6-4-3 double play. But as it'll go now, Spellhaug reaches on the fielder's choice. No error on the play. You can't assume a double play. So a 6-4 put out at second base, and Krebsbach is taken off the base pass for the second out of the inning. And Spellhaug reaches first on the fielder's choice. He's 0 for 1. Now batting, the center fielder, Owen Hoyme. Takes strike one. Trying to claw back into this one. Swinging a foul tip into the glove. Hoyme weighs number 4. He's got himself an 0-2 count. Swings and misses, strike 3.
And that strikeout is presented by Tommy's Express Car Wash. That's the first strikeout for the Tommies in this one. We got double Tommies going on here.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, thank you, Brooks. At the end of one, the Kindred Vikings find themselves down 12-0, and the Tommies come into bat in the top of the second. You're watching Kindred Vikings.
If you're looking for a bank or insurance agency that offers big bank products and small town service, then Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency is the way to go. Live in or near the Kindred area? Stop in and chat with a friendly banker or insurance agent about all of the convenient services and features they offer. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency are your neighbors who are here to help you grow and develop. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at KindredStateBank.com.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
Welcome back. Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. That score is right, 12-0. In the top of the second inning, the Thompson Tommies lead it over the Vikings. Well, starter Jack McDonald had a little bit of a rough go. He walked the first batter. Then the next three hitters all had solid hits. Then there was a pop out. Then there was another hit. Then a hit batsman. Then a hit. Then a hits batsman. Then a hit. Then a double. And then I believe this guy walked. Came in and scored. Yeah, that was an RBI single, I believe. Then another hit. But anyway, that's kind of where we sit right now, and there's a foul ball down the right field line, and it's going to kind of fall in no man's land. Carson Andel did give chase, but it was over his head, and it was a long run. It kind of disappeared into our abyss of our blind spot here down the right field line. As again the press box is down the first base line, so the view that you see on the camera is our view. Fastball up, it's a 1-1 count. Krebsbach facing Sean O'Hearn, the right fielder. He had an RBI single to right his first time up. Came around to score. So he's 1 for 1 with a run scored and a run batted in. And here's a pitch. All low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. All right-handed hitters in the lineup for the Tommies. Krebsbach on the mound. He's got 2/3 of an inning pitched. Here's a ground ball up the middle. And nice diving stop by McDonald, but McDonald knocked it down, but I don't believe he would have had a chance to throw with the speedy runner O'Hearn. So that'll go as an infield base hit for O'Hearn. And that's the 11th hit. 11th hit for the Tommies. And Krebsbach with a pitch. The 9th batter, Braden Tice, tries to lay down a bunt. Tice was hit by a pitch back in the first inning, and that drove in a run. He later came around to score as well. Looked like he was trying to sacrifice a runner over here. Krebsbach the pitch, squares the bunt. Throw down to first base is not in time. 1-1 the count. Braden Tice, the second baseman, is the hitter. And Krebsbach's pitch. Fastball up. Another throw down to first base, not in time. Whipple keeping the runner honest over at first base. And here's a pitch. Lays down a bunt. Krebsbach fields, throws over to first base. And O'Hearn moves up to second base. So that'll go as a sacrifice bunt. He's out 1-3. Pitcher to first base. And there's one away. A sacrifice bunt moves the runner up to second base. That'll bring us back to the top of the order in Berberich. And he takes ball 1 up high. Berberich walked to start the game. Later scored a run. And then he had a 2-run single later in that inning. And he later came around to score as he laces another one into center field. And that'll be a double for Berberich as he laces a double into left center field. That scores O'Hearn from second base. And Berberich having himself a day. He's now 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in. And he has 2 runs scored, and he's standing out on second base with 1 out.
Thompson's doing a great job of finding green grass here in the outfield. Getting a lot of their hits in play.
Yeah. I believe the courtesy runner is number 14, Jordan Gustafson. And there's a high pop fly by Wolfgram. And Andy Traum skates out, and he makes a catch, and the runner bluffs, and he just forces a throw. So Braden Wolfgram, who was 2 for 2, with 2 runs scored and 2 runs batted in, pops up to Andy Traum, and that's the second out of the inning. Burbridge will stay at second base. And Thompson Schumacher is the batter. He's the shortstop. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Had an RBI double in the first, RBI single later on in the first inning as well. He's also scored 2 runs. Starts off with a foul back to the screen, 0-1 the count. And the pitch from Krebsbach is in the dirt and outside, 1-1. 12 hits for the Tommies, 13 runs. Krebsbach looks at second base, throws a fastball up high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Krebsbach looking to work out of this inning. Throws and hits a line drive, does Schumacher, and it's right at McDonald out at short. So line drive to the shortstop for the 3rd out of the inning. The Tommies do come up with 1 run on 1 hit. Actually 2 hits, I'm sorry. And they do leave 1 runner stranded. At the end of 1.5 innings, Thompson Tommies lead at 13-0 over the Vikings. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Kindred Express Lane is a friendly, locally owned convenience store open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and offers hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Kindred Express Lane is located at 220 First Avenue South across the street from the baseball and football field, just 3 inches away from Highway 15 in Kindred. While you're fueling up, be sure and grab a snack and a cold beverage for the road. Kindred Express Lane wishes the Kindred Post 117 Vikings the best of luck. Go Vikings!
Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors has been your local Kindred area realtor for over 10 years. She'll help you find the home you're really looking for. Growing up in Gary, Minnesota, and graduating from NDSU, Jamie has made her home in Kindred, proudly cheering on the home team in blue. Buying or selling? Make that call to Jamie R. Swenson at 701-799-1779 or visit connectwithjamie.com to browse new listings and listen to the Realtor Moms podcast. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors supports the Kindred players of today and hometown rookies of tomorrow.
And welcome back to Kindred. Leadoff hitter for the Vikings is Bryce Whipple. He's the catcher. He took ball 1 already, and he swings and hits a high pop fly down the left field line. Whipple hit that ball well, as well foul. And strike 1. Kindred Vikings find themselves down 13-0. And here's a 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball upstairs. Should mention the pitcher, Drew Overby, throwing to his catcher, Reese Burbridge. Here's number 10's pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss by Whipple. Count rolls along at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's a 2-2. Fastball, swing and a miss by Whipple. And there's 1 down.
That Tommy's strikeout is presented by Tommy's Express Car Wash, the 2nd strikeout of the game for Thompson.
That'll bring up the Dahl brothers are due up. First of all, it'll be Luke, the left fielder. And here's the first pitch to him. It's way up high, ball 1. Overby has only thrown 19 pitches. His 20th pitch is over for strike 1 to Luke Dahl. And here's a 1-1, swinging a foul back to the screen. The Vikings had 1 hit in the first inning. And then Krebsbach reached on a fielder's choice after McDonald was caught in no man's land out there, not sure which way to run, whether the ball was going to fall in front of the center fielder or not. Very difficult to play that one because you don't want to get doubled up at first base either. And that's not Luke Dahl batting. That's Dylan Stone. I think you did point out to me that Todd Miller was out here, and that was Dylan Stone batting, and he draws a walk. So unsure if he's out in left field or not. But that was clearly Dylan Stone batting. He draws a walk. And this is Zach Johnson batting. He's batting for Nick Dahl. 0-2 the count to Zach Johnson. And the pitch from Overby is swinging fouled back to the screen. So it appears that Dylan Stone is taking over in left field and taking up the number 6 hole in the lineup. Throw over to first base. Dylan Stone back in plenty of time. Overby on the mound, throwing from the stretch, and the 0-2 is up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zach Johnson, the batter. Nick Dahl was due up. And here's the pitch. Swing and a little blooper out. Oh, man. Another tough base running play for Dylan Stone. As that was popped up, it looked as though it was likely going to fall into the infield. So Dylan Stone kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place and decided to make a break for it for second base. And the third baseman caught it and doubled him up over at first base. So 3 up, 3 down, technically for the Vikings, and at the end of 2 innings, Thompson Tommies lead at 13-0. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
Hey, it's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcasted on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to him today.
And welcome back to Kindred. We roll along to the top of the 3rd inning. I'm Mike Bordier, along with Brooks Huber, bringing you Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. Mike Mason joined us, and he's helping running the camera, which he's doing one heck of a lot better job than I was doing.
Shout out Mike Mason.
What did I say?
Shout out to Mike.
Oh, yeah. I thought maybe I said his name wrong. Here's the leadoff hitter in the 3rd inning for the Tommies. That's William Welke. He had a heck of a first inning. 2 RBI singles in the 1st inning.
Not bad. I mean.
He finds himself with a 1-1 count. Right-handed hitter, designated hitter. Tommy's lead at 13-0. Top of the 3rd inning. Carson Krebsbach, the pitcher. And here's a pitch, fouled back to the screen. Actually over the grandstand and into the trees. Asked that the kids go and retrieve those foul balls and turn them into the concession stand to get themselves a treat. And here's a 1-2 way up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's not a bad deal down there.
Not a
foul
bad
ball for a treat.
Yeah, not a bad deal.
I'd take that deal.
Yeah. Here's a 2-2 from Krebsbach. It's a fastball grounded out to short, and it goes between the legs of Jack McDonald. That'll go as an error. E6 for Jack McDonald, and Welke reaches on the air. Ball was hit pretty hard, but I think if you talk to Jack McDonald, he'll tell you he should have fielded that baseball and gotten an out. And the pitch from Krebsbach is a fastball in there for strike 1. This is the center fielder, Brody Gibson. He wears number 2. He popped up in the 1st inning, and he also drew a walk, and later, or it was hit by a pitch, and he came around to score later on. So he's 0 for 1 officially with a run scored. Reach base on a hit batsman. finds himself down on the count 0-2. And the pitch, fastball in the dirt. And that'll move the runner up down to second base. I think we'll call that a wild pitch. And Welke moves into second base. One and two the count. Krebsbach working out of the stretch. Takes a look at second, throws a fastball, and it's laced down the right field line, well foul.
I kind of thought that was going to hit us over here.
No, we're still good. I got this nice, big, huge pillar right in front of me that I could kind of hide behind, but I also have big hands, so I could maybe, at least shield my face. And here's a fastball away. Count rolls along at 2-2. Some would tell you that you can't really hurt me by hitting me in the head anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And here's a 2-2. Fastball upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Krebsbach is up to 32 pitches. Runner on second with nobody out. And here's a pitch. Swing and a foul tip off the mask of the catcher, Bryce Whipple. Count will remain full. And the umpire walks this ball out to the pitcher to give Bryce Whipple a second to collect himself. At least I think that hit Bryce Whipple. It may have hit the umpire.
Yeah, it looked like from here it hit Whipple in the helmet right there, but you're right, it could have hit the ump because he's walking a little slower.
Yeah, he's kind of, taking care of his left arm, it looked like, so maybe it caught the umpire on the foul tip.
Maybe off the ricochet off the helmet, possibly.
Yeah. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's another full count pitch from Krebsbach. Curveball fouled away again. Nice at-bat here by Brody Gibson. Going to battle. And here's a pitch. Fastball laced into right center field. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Welke is being sent home, and he will score on the double to right center field by Brody Gibson. And another run in. That'll go as an unearned run against Krebsbach after reaching on the error. And the Tommies have themselves a 14-0 lead on their 13th hit. That'll bring up the pitcher for the Tommies, Drew Overby. He singled in the first and tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt with a 10 or 11 run lead, and the lead runner was thrown out at third. He takes strike 1. Runner on second, nobody out. 1 run already in this inning, and here's a pitch, swinging a ground ball, chopped out towards third. Grant Spellhog checks the runner at second, throws across the diamond in time for the out. A 5-3 put out, and Overby is the first out of the inning. Spellhog did a nice job of checking the runner back at second base and making the throw across the diamond, holding the runner at second base. Jonathan Muse now the batter. Plays up in left field. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning, came around to score, and then singled. And he was the last batter in that first inning. He singled and drove in a run, but Overby was thrown out at third base trying to advance. He takes strike 1. Actually, yeah, this is a different hitter. Jonathan Muse must be being pinch hit for here by number 14, Jordan Gustafson. So I apologize. But Muse leaves after going 1 for 1. Number 14, Jordan Gustafson in. One and 2 the count as I try to fix my scorebook a little bit here. He bats with a runner on second base and a 1-2 count. And the pitch, fastball, swing, and popped up over the press box. Brooks, we're okay. That's not going to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was bracing myself. I was ready.
Yeah, that was way over our heads. I couldn't have caught that with a ladder.
You got me all psyched out now, thinking these foul balls are going to come to us. That'll be strike 3.
Swing and a miss. For Gustafson, he goes down on strikes.
That's the first strikeout for Kindred in this matchup.
Yes, it is.
A very well needed one as well.
Yes, it's important. You got a runner in scoring position. Try to get the shutdown inning here. Try to minimize the damage like we've been saying all night. First pitch is a fastball, strike one.
And, you take out the disasterful first inning, they've only allowed 2 runs in the second and third inning combined. So I guess if there is a silver lining, that could be one of them.
Pinch hitting for the Tommies will be number 18, Braden Fowl. And Fowl is spelled F-A-U-L. He pinch hits and has himself a 1-1 count. And here's a pitch, swinging a high pop fly out to left center field. That's Dylan Stone out there. He makes a catch and puts it away. That's 3 outs, and that's the half inning for the Tommies. They do come up with a run. And there was 1 Tommy hit and no errors on Kindred. At the end of 2.5 innings, Thompson Tommies lead at 14-0 over the Kindred Vikings. And you are watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Kindred Storage provides secure and affordable storage 24 hours a day. The units at Kindred Storage are new construction, isolated from water and snow, and are maintained year-round. The area is also well lit to ensure safe and easy access to your possessions day or night. Call 701-428-3121 for availability, unit pricing, and more information. Kindred Storage. You can find them online at kindredstorage.com. You can also find them on the north side of the airport in the city of Kindred.
And welcome back to Kindred. Kindred Vikings baseball and Magnitude Sports. I'm Mike Verdinger, along with Brooks Huber, as the Kindred Vikings come to bat in the bottom of the third inning, finding themselves down 14-0. Vikings do have 1 hit. They do have a couple of errors up on the scoreboard. There was an error last inning. I said there was not, but there was 1 error. So an unearned run scored earlier in the top of the third. Carson Andel's the batter. He's a first baseman. Finds himself down in the count, 0-2. Big right-handed hitter. Carson Andel has some pop in his bat, and here's a pitch. Fastball hit high in the air. Pop up to shallow center field. And the shortstop, Thomas Schumacher, goes out there and makes a play. 1 down. And that'll get to the bottom of the orders. Andy Traum is the batter. PA announcer tonight, Jackie Traum, gets to introduce her son to the lineup. Andy Traum steps in, takes strike 1. 14 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Tommies. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for the Vikings. And the pitch, swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Drew Overby has just calmly gone out there and thrown strikes. Gave up 1 hit early on, but has settled down. And here's the 0-2 swing and a ground ball out to shortstop. Schumacher plays a tough hop, throws across the diamond, and in time for the out on a 6-3 putout. And there's 2 down. Traum grounds out. We go back to the top of the order.
Number 11, Jack McDonald.
Jack McDonald, the hitter. He's playing out at shortstop. He singled. He had the lone Kindred hit to lead off the game in the bottom of the first. And was put out on that tough play, the little blooper out into center field by Krebsbach. And McDonald was kind of caught in no man's land. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? Here's another ground ball out to third base. Throw across a diamond in time. And the Vikings go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third inning. At the end of 3, Vikings down to the Tommies, 14-0. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
MLGC story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a fourth-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
Welcome back to Kindred Vikings baseball. We roll along to the top of the fourth inning, and the Kindred Vikings find themselves down by a score of 14-0 after 3 innings of play. Give you a score update out of the Midcast Babe Ruth League. The Kindred Vikings on top of Hankinson, looks like at the end of 4 by a score of 13-3, so they're winning. I'm able to watch that game live as my wife Wendy Bernier streams that game through the Game Changer app, which is kind of very helpful. For the Tommies, leading off the top of the fourth inning will be Braden Tice. He's the second baseman. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning and drove in a run. Then he had a sacrifice bunt back in the second. He bats to lead off the top of the fourth, finds himself down in the count 0-1. And he's hit by a pitch again. So he has no official at-bats. He had a hit batsman in the first, sacrifice bunt in the second. Now in the fourth, he's hit by a pitch again. And Krebsbach, thrown out of the stretch, looks over, gets a sign, and the pitch, fastball up, ball one. Reese Burbridge, the hitter, he's having a day. 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored and 3 runs driven in. Finds himself up on the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on first, nobody out. Just getting underway in the top of the fourth. There's a high pop fly out into center field, and Hoyme there to make the catch. Puts it away, and there's 1 down. So Berbert set down for the first time today with a fly out to center field. That'll bring up Braden Wolfgram, the third baseman. Actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter. Isaac Beeland. That's spelled B-E-L-A-N-D. He'll come to bat here in the top of the fourth inning with 1 out. Getting his first action of the game, and here's a pitch. Fastball in the dirt, stopped nicely by Whipple. Braden Wolfgram had himself a day as well. He was 2 for 3. Excuse me, with a single and a double. 2 runs batted in, a stolen base, 2 runs scored.
That's going to make this a 3-0 count.
Takes a 3 over, 3 ball and no strike pitch over for strike 1. And here's a 3-1. Fastball over, strike 2. If you're the Thompson Tommies, you're standing up there waiting for your pitch. This is a golden opportunity to get some at-bats in. Take some big, healthy swings. As Beeland draws a walk. As I'm saying, it's a good chance to take some healthy swings. I don't think Beeland swung the bat while he's up there. In fairness to him, he did draw the walk. And here's a pitch grounded out towards Strom, and it sneaks by him into right field for a base hit. Tice being waved home, and here's the throw into the infield by the right fielder. I believe that's still Zach Johnson out in the right field.
That's going to make this a 15-0 ball game here in favor of Thompson.
I kind of missed it. Did the ball get bobbled out in right field? Is that why there's an error up there?
Yeah, he bobbled it, and yeah, so they're still going to count as a hit and then error afterwards. So that's a foul ball right there.
So Will goes an RBI single for Thomas Schumacher. Beelan makes it over to third base, and Schumacher reaches second base on the error by the right fielder. Here's a ground ball over to Carson Andel. He fields it, throws it to the pitcher covering Krebsbach, throws to the plate, and they're going to complete the double play. One run did come across the score as Beelan scored. Schumacher tried to score on the play, but it's a 3-1-2 double play. 2 runs do come across the score, so now the Tommies lead at 16-0 after 3.5 innings.
Cheyenne Septic Service is your go-to for residential and commercial pumping of your septic and holding tanks. Plus, they provide pre-sale real estate pumping and inspection. Don't buy a new home or sell your current home without it. Cheyenne Septic Service is always on call 24/7 for any emergency services that may be required at your home or business. Call 701-317-2756. Cheyenne Septic Service, a local business in Leonard, North Dakota.
For your remodeling and service needs on residential or commercial water heaters, sewers, drain cleaning, floor heating, and more, contact DJ's Plumbing and Heating in Castleton. The team at DJ's Plumbing and Heating has over 43 years of experience and is an officially licensed master plumber. DJ's Plumbing and Heating. Give them a call today at 701-347-5253 or visit them in person at 1002 Front Street in Castleton.
And we're back in Kindred. Vikings find themselves down 16-0. Swinging a foul at the plate. This is a pitcher, Carson Krebsbach, batting. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Batting in the bottom of the fourth. 16 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Tommies. No runs, 1 hit, 3 errors for the Vikings. And the pitch. Kind of lost in this game, Brooks Huber, is the fact that Overby is just silently setting down the Kindred hitters.
Yeah, he's been doing great pitching, and I think that is getting overshadowed by the 14 hits on the board for Thompson's batting. But, yeah, I mean, only allowing 1 hit and 0 runs is very impressive, and he's pitched the entire game.
Yep. He's walked 1. He struck out 1.
And as we give him his flowers, he does give up a walk there, but outside of that, he's been playing very, very well.
Yep.
And for the viewers at home that don't know, if this game, if the score stays as is, it will be a 15-run mercy rule in the fourth, so it would end after this as they're going to try to make a double play here.
Yeah, ground ball right back to the pitcher, and they turn a 1-6-3 double play.
And so if that's the case, our doubleheader will be a little bit ahead of schedule. Instead of it starting at 7:30, it might start at around 7. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that.
That was Grant Spellhog that bounced into the double play. He was 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. And then another ground ball out to first base for Owen Hoyme, and the first baseman takes it himself over to first base, and that ends the ball game. Score of 16-0 in Thompson Tommies, and this ball game ends after 4, or does the game have to go 5 innings? It does have to go 5 innings, so we'll be back for more baseball after this.
Oh, sorry, I thought they said it was over.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know what the rule is, so.
Okay.
But I think it's 5 though.
Can you play some?
I know it's brutal, but on the bright side,
which one are
this
we
game's not.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Does a ghost pepper wing that doesn't send you into tears make any sense? Sure does to us. That's why Popeye's ghost pepper wings are more flavorful than fireful. Because in NOLA, we like to taste our food, not cry over it. We don't make sense. We make chicken. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At Popeyes, we've got a feast for your family. Whether it's spicy or mild fried chicken or tenders, our brand new homestyle mac and cheese, or any of our other delicious sides, there's something for everyone at the table. Try it today and earn points with Popeyes Rewards.
And welcome back. Kindred Vikings Baseball and Magnitude Sports. I'm Mike Bernier, along with Brooks Huber. Mike Mason running the camera for us. Kindred Vikings find themselves down by a score of 16-0. We thought the game may have ended after 4 innings, but we were incorrect on that.
We confused Minnesota baseball rules with North Dakota. With them being so close, it happens.
So we have some bonus baseball. Brody Gibson will lead off. He's a center fielder. Having a nice day at the plate. He popped up in the first, also was hit by a pitch and scored a run, and had an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. Count rolls along at 1-1. Carson Krebsbach still on the hill for the Vikings. Came in the 1st inning.
And unless something crazy happens, it looks like he'll just be finishing it out for Kindred.
Ball high, 3 balls and 1 strike. He came in with 1 out after 11 runs had scored, and he proceeded to pitch his way out of the inning. And here's a 3-1 pitch laced into right center field. Zach Johnson comes in and makes a nice, beautiful catch. Zach Johnson, the right fielder, did not start the ball game, but after the disastrous 1st inning, came in to pinch hit and play right field for Nick Dahl. And Zach Johnson charges the ball and makes the play out in right field, and there's 1 out.
And now, like we mentioned, Drew Overby, the great pitcher for tonight. He's batting here.
He's 1 for 3 on the day. He had a single in the 1st, and he scored. And he laid down a bunt, but he reached on the fielder's choice after Krebsbach threw the lead runner out at 3rd base. And then Overby grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd inning. So 1 for 3. He's got himself a 2-0 count in his favor as Krebsbach fires and pitches. There's a high pop fly into shallow center field. Hoyme comes on, has it measured, makes a catch. And there's 2 down. So don't look now, but Krebsbach's cruising right along. He's got the first 2 hitters out, and that'll bring up Jordan Gustafson. He pinch hit for the starter, Jonathan Muse, who started out in left field. Gustafson struck out in his first at-bat after Muse left the ball game. And here's a pitch by Krebsbach. He chops one out in front of the mound. It's going to be a tough play for Jack McDonald, but he charges, makes a nice play, and throws him out as Carson Annell fields the ball, makes a catch. And look at this. The Thompson Tommies go up 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th inning. Nice pitching by Krebsbach. At the end of 4.5, the Tommies lead it by a score of 16-0 over the Vikings. And you are listening to Kindred Vikings Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
If you're looking for a bank or insurance agency that offers big bank products and small town service, then Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency is the way to go. Live in or near the Kindred area? Stop in and chat with a friendly banker or insurance agent about all of the convenient services and features they offer. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency are your neighbors who are here to help you grow and develop. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Online at kindredstatebank.com.
And welcome back to Kindred. Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. That score is correct. Vikings down by a score of 16-0. We were just talking about how Overby for the Tommies has pitched a nice ball game. He leaves the game after throwing 4 innings complete, 4 shutout innings, and in favor of the center fielder, Mr. Gibson here. Brody Gibson, the center fielder, comes in to pitch to try to close this one out.
And I wonder what the reason is for that. Is it to give this new pitcher more experience? Because I think Overby could have easily finished that game out.
He could have, but Coach Solis might have been looking at pitch count, things like that. If they got other games, I don't know what their schedule is this week. If they got other games later on this week, he's maybe trying to save Overby and just trying to work an inning in for Gibson.
That could very well be it, because Overby was sitting at a little bit under 70 pitches in this contest.
Yeah, and if you go over a certain amount of pitches, then you have to have more of a rest for a longer period of time.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
So Gibson's in the pitch. He's facing Bryce Whipple, the catcher. He struck out back in the second inning in his only at-bat. He finds himself up on the count 2-0, swings and misses, making it 2-1. What's that? Oh, okay. I had number 5. I'm sorry, it's Reese Berberich is actually the pitcher, not Gibson. I don't know where I found that. Pop up behind the plate, and a beautiful catch. And who is the new catcher? Number 12.
Cool
That's William Welke. He started the game as a designated hitter, and he makes a beautiful catch against Bryce Whipple, much to Bryce Whipple's dismay. So it'll go as a pop-up to the catcher. Foul territory for the first out. I'm sorry, I got the wrong number out there. It's Reese Berberich, the catcher. He's now on to pitch. Now batting is Dylan Stone. He didn't start the ball game. Luke Dahl started in left, but Dylan Stone came in the second inning and drew himself a walk. Take strike 1, ball 1, and 1 strike. 1 out. Here's a pitch from Berberich, fastball down low, 2-1 the count. And I think now we're safe to say, unless the Vikings come up with 7 runs here in the bottom of the 5th, this game will be over on the 15-run rule or 10-run rule after 5.
And we mean it this time, too. There's no confusion. There's legitimate North Dakota baseball rule after 5 are up by 10.
Yeah, there's a 10-run rule, not a 15-run rule. Count rolls along full for Dylan Stone, right-handed hitter. Swing and a miss. Dylan Stone goes down on strikes. And there's 2 down.
That'll be a Tommy's Express strikeout right there.
Zach Johnson, the batter. He's number 0. He also didn't start. He came in to play right field and pinch hit in the second inning. He had a little pop-up to the third baseman and doubled up Dylan Stone, who had reached on a walk. Dylan Stone found himself again in no man's land. Wasn't sure if it was going to land in the green or not. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Zach Johnson. And the pitch, ball high. 2-1 the count. 16 runs, 14 hits for the Tommies. No runs, 1 hit for the Vikings. The pitch is a breaking ball over for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Berberich, the pitcher. Swing and a miss by Zach Johnson. And that'll do it, folks, in the first game. These are counter games for the B Legion Ball Club. Vikings fall to the Thompson Tommies here in the first game by a score of 16-0. You're listening and watching Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
A little over an hour into this game, an hour 19 gone, as we are now at 9:47, approaching that 10 o'clock mark. Of course, here at Magnitude, we're no stranger to baseball games carrying into the late hours of the PM, but gotta say, some of those are the most fun games that you'll ever see. Stokes is 1-0. Hit hard, and that one carrying out towards the outfield. That's going to score a run. Borkhardt coming home, and it's 1-0. The Patriots grabbing the lead. Brennan Hammond with an RBI single. So talk about the move from the dugout right there, bringing in Hammond to hit, and it pays off as he scores the first run of the game. Bringing home Borkhardt. Hammond safe at first, Wiggestrand safe at second. First run of the game coming here in the top of the 6th inning. 3-1. Hit hard over towards second, going into the hole, and that one's going to get through. Over to first, the throw on the way, and he's safe, and it's a tie game. Rizak scores, and it's 1-1. 2-2 hit the other way, carrying out towards right field. On the move is O'Lean, and he makes the catch. And we're going to extras. 7 isn't enough to decide it between these two. It's 1-1, and we're back with more baseball, extra innings, free baseball between the Patriots and the Warriors after this on Magnitude Sports. And for West Fargo, for that long game that they played, that one against Grand Island, they had to turn right around and play another game right after that. And I think both of these teams very thankful that there's not another game following this, as that would be midnight baseball, midnight madness. And as cool of an idea as that might be in theory, runners take off as bunt is going to be popped up high and foul. Dodds was off with the pitch right there. That's an 0-1 count to Stalker. But as cool of an idea as that might be in theory, I think there's zero amount of caffeine in the world that would have these teams ready to play another game at midnight. 2-2 pitch. And Kryling pops it up. Out towards right field, tagging up is Madison. And Madison taking off for home. The throw on the way. Madison sliding. And he's out. He is out at the plate. A double play. And we're going to the 11th. Carter O'Lean does it again on the relay. You can't make this up. After 10, we're still tied 1-1. And to the 11th we go. It's 1-1. It's the Warriors and the Patriots. Back with more baseball after this on Magnitude. Another 2-2. And he got him for strike 3. And we're going to the 12th. After 11, it's 1-1. And more baseball on your hands. Everyone getting their money's worth. First pitch, Stalker hits it hard over towards short. On the move is Rizak firing over to first, and what a stretch by Tunison. Big Tuna with a big grab, and that's going to do it for the top of the 12th. 1, 2, 3 into the bottom of the 12th we go, and might we, just might we, see a walk-off. It's 1-1 after 11 and a half. Back with more baseball right after this on Magnitude Sports. Words I never thought I'd say. Welcome to the 13th inning. It's 1-1 between the Warriors and the Patriots as Cooper Borkhardt will settle in to lead things off. Borkhardt 0 for 3, flying out, striking out, and grounding out. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Borkhardt. Payoff pitch, and he's going to take it for ball 4. Borkhardt walks to start things off. And it brings up the year 1 for 4, flying out, a sac bunt, a single, a ground out, and then a strikeout. Hit hard over towards short. Chance for 2. Firing over to first. On the way, and they got him. It's a double play. How about that? 2 outs for the price of 1. (3-2). And he got him. Jagger got him swinging for strike 3, and that's going to do it for the top of the 13th. To the bottom of the 13th we go. More baseball on Magnitude Sports, and we're back in a moment. We rejoin you here for the bottom of the 13th. I gotta say, if there's any big winner from this game, it's our sponsors, as they have been getting a lot of exposure here. But we'd like to thank our sponsors for all their help that they've done to help make broadcasts such as these possible. 3 hours and 53 minutes into this one, it's going to be Davis and Kryling leading things off. First pitch on the way. Kryling gives that one a ride out towards the outfield. And on the run, making the catch, is going to be Mason Stolting for out number 1. 1-0 pitch. That one hit hard through the hole for a base hit. Rizak with his first hit of the game, a single with 1 down. 5 minutes away from the 4-hour mark. About to shatter the record as the throw comes back in towards first. Remember the record, 2 hours and 59 minutes. And we're approaching hour number 4. Safe to say this record should be untouchable as the pitch is taken outside for a ball. That last pitch, number 100 for Seth Wiggestrand, and I believe it was 105 for Matt Heupel. So combined 205 pitches thrown by West Fargo as the runner goes over towards second. Rizak sliding in and he's safe. He gets some fist bumps all around, just maybe a few words being exchanged as he tries to get these next 2 outs. And if he does, that would send it to any number 14. Essentially a doubleheader in one game. 2-0. Chopped back up the middle. And they'll get the out over at first while Rizak holds up over at third. 2 down. And it's Gunderson into the box. 3 for 4. A single, a fly out, a walk, a single, and then a walk. And they're going to intentionally walk him. Bases loaded for Henry Tunison. Game on the line. If Tunison gets a hit, then the Warriors win the game. If Wiggestrand gets him out, then the game goes on. First pitch through the hole, and that's going to score him. And at long last, finally long last, the game is over. Rizak scores. Big Tuna with the big hit. Your final score on Magnitude Sports, 2-1. And it's a walk-off for the Warriors. The Warriors walk it off, and that's going to do it as we just hit the 4-hour mark. 12:27 your local time, and your final 2-1. The West Side Warriors beating the West Fargo Patriots in the longest game in the history of Magnitude Sports. And that's going to do it for tonight. You'll have to forgive me as I'm going to have a very brief post-game show. Once again, your final score 2-1. The Warriors winning it in the 13th inning. Thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I hope you had as much fun and stayed awake as much as I did throughout this game. Until next time, hope to see you all again soon and have a good morning.
Keep this one out. And he can, and he does. What a save on the PK.
Charlie Anderson
Also
back
here
in.
for the Packers to try to switch that momentum.
And just like that, the Packers get 2 more good points. And you know how? Offensive rebounds. They got the rebounds. Huskies got to do a better job. And another dunk there by Manic.
So out of Mannix, 6 points. 4 of them have been off of dunks, and he doesn't seem to need to jump very far to hit that rim. Bjornkow with it, given back to Pease. Nice job there by Hagerly on the back door. Baseline cut, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
41. Fergus Falls had the ball. They lost it out of bounds, and now an opportunity here for the Pelican Rapids Vikings. Guler has it. 3 seconds to go. Guler with the ball. 1 second at the buzzer. It's in! And the Pelican Rapids Vikings on a shot by Matty Guler go to the state tournament undefeated at 29-0.
Marseille 2 for 2. 3 kills. And the serve over. Dugout Larson. Erickson up front, Benstein. Played by Davies. Kruger And we'll have a whistle and a violation, a net violation against Davies. Again, second time for the Packers. McKinnon on the serve, and that one is just out of bounds. We'll continue on. 26 apiece. 9 of 9 serving. Line drive serve, a hard serve. Waldera, Erickson, back set. And Benstock able to... Yeah, well, the ball did hit the floor. And Benstock will pick up her 7th kill. Soini, serve just over the net. Kruger, on the outside for Wild. And it was, Blake tipped up front, and it was. Looked like the ball changed flight, and it did. Wild the kill, we're tied again. 27 apiece here in set 1. And Kruger to serve. She is now 5 for 5. On the outside, that is Erickson, and kept alive by Theelges. No, ran out of room. 28 apiece. They've been able to respond every time Packers have had set point, but you got to get the lead at some point. Got to try and kind of flip it over a little bit. Soini on the outside, Fiatkuski got it through the blockers and a kill again. Waldera, her turn to try and finish off a first set that doesn't want to end real bad. Serve, Solberg, Kruger on the outside, tapped over Solberg. Kept alive, diving stop Waldera and sent over by Erickson. Theelges. Pass to the outside, tapped across by Marcial and pinballed around and finally down. So Kringley, 4 for 4 from the service line. Right-handed serve. Erickson. Check that. It was Benstock. And trying to send it over was Fiatkuski and out of play. Actually off the net supports, 30-29. And now set point for Davies. Knuckleball serve into the net. Didn't get enough on it. 30 apiece. Mary Schnell back in to replace Soini for the Packers. This is only set 1, gang. Here's Erickson on the serve. Played by Davies. Pass to the outside. Solberg has it blocked. And here comes Erickson to try and finish it off. Set point once again for the Packers. Serve. Flipped over by Kruger. Kept alive Waldera. Erickson to the outside for Fiatkuski. Got it over the blockers, and we have a whistle and a violation. Somebody went up and over the net for West Fargo. And that'll tie it up at 31. Boy, West Fargo's had set point, 4, at least 5 times? Davies has had it. Are they going to, they're going to take a point off the board, so they're going to reserve. Erickson one more time. Serve over. Wild. Kruger for Marcial. Out of bounds. West Fargo ends it. 32-30.
13 seconds to go. It's last chance here. Anna German. German shot on goal, deflected, and 7 seconds to go. Tatum, and it's in, and we're tied with 4 seconds to go. We are tied at 4-4.
Game about a half a month ago. Now here come the Fusion the other way. Nice ball in towards Kamai. Kamai able to set it down. Kamai beating the keeper. Shot on the way, and Kamai scores. 1-0 for the Fusion, and it's Nozomu Kamai. Opening goal coming in the 11th minute of play. And it's 1-0 for the home team.
Satter will collect the rebound. Back the other way quickly. Comes Satter and the Eagles. Satter will pick up his dribble. Hammond now near wing. Kicks it baseline for Cole Hage. Hage back out. Satter catch and shoot 3. It rattles in. Satter will try again. And he nails it. Satter thought about the 3. Now he steps back. Puts it up. In and 1. He got it. Cole Hage outside Satter for 3. Got it. Looks over at Satter. Now puts the ball on the floor. Gives it to Satter. Satter, step back. 5th 3. Yes! 5 threes for Ty Satter. He has 15 points, all from behind the arc. Satter for another 3. You betcha, he got it. Satter for 3. Satter will try again. Top of the key. He got it. He's got 7 threes. Satter, 3 number 8. It's in. 3. Ty Satter. He had 7 in the first half. That's his first of the second half. Page, Satter, free throw, number 9, he got it! Well, it looked like a free throw. At least he made it look like that. Satter for free number 10, he got it! 10 threes, 30 points from behind the line. He has 32 on the night.
3 for Ty Satter.
Well, let's just see how many he can get here. Ty Satter wants the ball. He's going to maybe tee it up for 11 3. He got it! 11 3-pointers for Ty Satter. It's unbelievable. 35 points for Satter, and it's 75-37. Grayson Hammond, now Van Dam wants to drive in, kicks out, Bitts, now Hammond in the corner. Hammond will drive baseline. Outside Satter. Step back 3, number 12. He got it! 7 in the first half and 5 so far here in the second half. Satter will head to the bench.
Ty Satter has set a new Davies Eagles single-game three-point record with 12 three-pointers.
That's pretty awesome. I will admit, that is pretty awesome.
Congratulations, Ty Satter.
Comes back inside, ground ball to second. Flip to Rarick for 1, on to first, rack him up for 2. Throw back to third, they get a triple play. They didn't just get 2, they threw back behind the runner and turned it into 3 outs. How about that? 1 swing, 3 outs, and that does it the 6th. How about that? It will go 4, 6, 3, 5 on the triple play. And just like that, 3 outs. And 1 swing, Hasbargen cleans it up. It goes Hansen to Rarick to Beiswinger and then back to Mock. Everybody in the infield got their turn.
They do get a turnover. They have an opportunity to tie the game, and they do. Paige Pearson with the basket underneath to tie it at 63. 17 seconds to go. Outside, Katie Johnson for a 3. Yes, she got it with 5 seconds to go. Katie Johnson hits the 3. 66-63, back the other way. No, it's off the mark. Colbeck sent it up, and it just rattled off the left side of the rim. And the Perham Yellow Jackets will hang on. Go to face Griffin Stahl in the double overtime period face-off. Healing Touch Chiropractic in West Fargo, and our friend Sean Carlson at Town and Country Credit Union. Shot from the point, ricochet, in, and it's gonna go to the Packers. Dalton Bosser, he will score the goal, and he will go and celebrate with the fan section here. It ricocheted on its way to the net and kind of did a loop around Ryan Robeson. And the Packers win it in double overtime, 4-3. And the goal is going to go to Dalton Bosser.
Count will go to a ball and no strikes on Cole Hage. Hage at first base with some pretty good pop in his bat for a number 2 guy in the lineup. And he'll turn things around and bat from the right side. Hoganson out of the line, delivers 1-0. Curveball blasted to left field and deep. Back after it, Carolyn at the wall, it's gone. Cole Hage with a solo home run on the second pitch he sees, and Post 2 will take a 1-0 lead. We had just mentioned that Hage has some pop in his bat for a number 2 guy, and he got a fastball up belt high and just unloaded upon it. He was looking for that pitch, he got it, and all left fielder Zach Carolyn could do was take a couple of steps, look up, and watch it fly over the wall.
Need a little bit of history in the making here.
Oh, how about that? And he did that on purpose, too. Highlight reel right there. Gage Anderson assist off the backboard for the Money dunk. Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Wow. I mean, Cheyenne is just flexing their muscles right now. They are sign, sealing, and delivering, stamping. We are the team to beat here in the EDC. We are the team to beat here in North Dakota.
Field here, Du Bois, the junior defenseman, will put the right leg on it and send it up right over the head of the goal scorer Kramer. The Packers will try and clear it. Mustangs touch up on it. And a little bit of pushing and shoving there. No call. And now Bukestad will get around the defender. Bukestad with the left foot over the head of Pyle into the back of the net. And it's 2-0 Mustangs. First round EDC tournament game between the Mustangs and the Knights. Coming away with it here is Bukestad. Bukestad over! Pyle had her hands on it and it slipped through.
They're ready to go. And we're ready to go. Welcome back to Kindred, North Dakota, and unbeknownst to us, we're starting a ball game. And we're playing baseball.
That was a little quicker than I expected, if I'm being honest. They just hurried right on out there.
Well, if I'm being honest, that was a lot quicker than I expected. But here we are playing baseball, and we'll take that. So all I have is a picture of the lineup. It's on my phone, so we'll take a look at that. But I know who's batting. It's clearly Jack McDonald leading off.
He led off last game as well.
Yep. Now this is a switch because we could not find a way to schedule a home game for Thompson. This is a counter game in the second of the doubleheader. So the home team and visitor team switch. So even though we're playing in Kindred, the Kindred Vikings are the visitors on the scoreboard. And Jack McDonald has a 3-1 count. Swings and hits a line drive out to right field. Over the head of the right fielder. Jack McDonald has some wheels. And he's rounding second on his way into third base. Here's a throw over to third base. Not in time. And a leadoff triple for Jack McDonald. And man, I don't even have the lineup written in here, so bear with me a minute. I'm writing Jack McDonald.
That was like me yesterday for the second game of the doubleheader. They started the game a little bit earlier than I would have thought, and I had to do the lineups on the fly.
By the way, the pitcher is Drew Odenbach. He played in the field in the first game but did not hit. And now batting is Carson Krebsbach for the Vikings.
That was close.
And a foul ball, and I didn't watch it because I wasn't watching, and that would have hit me right in the side of the face, knocked me senseless. But it's a foul ball off the bat of Krebsbach, and it's a 1-1 count.
It was about 15 feet away from us.
But it didn't enter into here.
It did not, but that was the closest it's been all day.
Krebsbach takes strike two, and the pitch is outside, 2-2. And the pitch, swing and a foul tip back to the screen. It's 2-2 the count.
So, can you remember their pitch count? After this inning, we'll get it back with the first. I don't know why it's on the third. Yep.
Swing and a foul tip back to the plate. Jack McDonald on at third base. He led off the inning with a triple. Vikings are the visitors on the scoreboard. And here's a pitch, swing and a foul tap into the batter's box. Ruled a foul ball. Carson Krebsbach, the batter. Krebsbach. Well, even my lineup card doesn't have the positions of the players, so we'll just have to guess. I assume Krebsbach, since he pitched in the first game, is likely out at shortstop. Fastball over for strike three. Krebsbach watches it go by, and it's strike three, 1 out.
That strikeout is presented by Tommy's Express Car Wash.
Coming to bat for the Vikings, number 14.
Number 14, Grant Spellhog, comes to the plate. Spellhog likely playing at third base. Fouls one back to the screen. Spellhog will be followed by Carson Andel, who's on deck. Perfect. All right. Mike Bernier along with Brooks Huber, Mike Mason of Magnitude Sports up here running the camera for us. It's an 0-1 count to Spellhog. Ball low in the dirt. 1-1 the count. As mentioned, Carson Andel on deck. And a swing and a miss, and a 1-2 the count. Spellhog trying to get that leadoff runner in. That's Jack McDonald, who laced a triple to right field. Another foul ball over the press box. We've had a lot of foul balls over this way, but none have entered into the press box that we know of. One did hit the front, the facade of the press box a little bit earlier. Much to the chagrin of Brooks Huber, who's not fully prepared for that foul ball screaming up in here.
Yeah, I don't have a glove with me. I left mine at home, so I'm just going to be catching it barehanded if it comes up here.
I didn't see it at all, so I was looking down at the scorebook trying to figure out my lineup card. And the pitch from the tall right-hander is outside. Ball 3. Drew Odenbach, the pitcher, pitching to Reese Berberich, the catcher. And the batter, Grant Spellhog, takes the ball low in the dirt. No room for McDonald to advance from third base. A Spellhog draws a walk. Cleanup hitter, Carson Andel steps to the plate. Sports number 16. Carson Andel, the son of David Andel, who did some coaching in Breckenridge for the Breckenridge Cowboys. Actually played baseball for David Andel. He was my coach in Breckenridge. And later on, my son Max was playing baseball for Kindred, and David Andel was one of the coaches. So David Andel coached both me and my son, and I told David Andel that just that makes him old, is what that makes him.
I bet he loved hearing that one.
Yeah, he said, don't say that on the air. And I said, I completely forgot about that. I messed that up.
He takes back what he said.
Never mind that. Edit that out. 1 ball and no strikes to the hitter, Carson Andel. He's got some pop in his bat. And he pops this one up towards the press box. And it just falls out of play. First baseman Braden Tice is in there. I was trying to find him in the lineup, but he's actually not in the lineup as a hitter. He's being DH for by William Welke. So Braden Tice is playing over at first base, but not in the lineup as a hitter. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Carson Andel. Ball low and away. 2-1 the count. Runners on first and third. Grant Spellhog on at first base. McDonald tripled to lead off the inning. He's at third, trying to score that leadoff run. Swing and a miss by Carson Andel. 2-2 the count. Andel trying to get that run in. Vikings fell in the first game 16-0 to the Thompson Tommies. And here's a pitch, high, pop fly, out towards the mound, and it falls into fair territory, and they're going to throw down to second base and get the lead runner at second base. McDonald has no chance of scoring, so Andel will reach on the fielder's choice. The ball fell between Berberich and the pitcher, and then the ball hit Berberich, so it is a fair ball. So all that happens there was a lot of action there for a fielder's choice. No hit on the play. Spellhog is put out 2-2. I believe the shortstop caught that, so we'll call it 2-6. Second out of the inning. Runner still on first and third. And Owen Hoyme is the hitter. Owen Hoyme batting in the 5th spot. Takes ball 1. And here's the pitch. Swing and a high pop fly, foul. Berberich takes a peek, but it's going to fall on top of the press box. The press box taking a beating this afternoon. But again, the drywall up in here is perfectly sound and safe. And I've taken no balls between the eyes and off the nose or anything like that. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball in the dirt. No chance for Andel to advance. Just not quite enough room. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitcher Odenbach is up to 29 pitches. And here's a pitch. Swing and a high drive into right field. It's going to be a tough play, and it's over the head of the right fielder. One run is in. Carson Andel motoring over to third base, and he's being held up. So a 2-out double to right field scores Jack McDonald, who started this game with a triple over the right fielder's head. The right fielder being Sean O'Hearn. Carson Andel gets on over to third base after the long double from Owen Hoyme. And the Vikings have themselves a 1-0 lead. Much better start than the first game.
Very, very night-and-day type of start for Kindred. This is their first run of both games.
Right.
They're doing a great job making contact with the ball as well.
This is Bryce Whipple, the hitter. Caught the first game. And here's a 1-0 throw down to second base. Is not in time. Hoyme back safely. So 2 drives over the right fielder's head. O'Hearn had a beat on that one, but that was a very tough play. He would have had to make a Willie Mays type catch to rein that one in as the pitch is low and in the dirt to Whipple. Whipple with an opportunity. Ducks around the pond, as they say. Runners on second and third. 2 runners in scoring position. A base hit should score a couple of runs here. And here's a pitch from Odenbach. Down low in the dirt, and it gets away. Andel, trying to think of a nice way to foot this, is not very fleet of foot, put it that way. All right.
That was a very kind way to put it.
Yeah. And so that ball, even though it made it back to the screen, Andel didn't want to take the chance to get thrown out at the plate, which is a wise decision. You don't want to make the third out at the plate.
A+ awareness, though, to know your strengths and weaknesses.
Yep. And Bryce Whipple has himself a 3-0 count. And he takes
that looks close to a strike, but they're gonna make that bases loaded here.
Bryce Whipple draws walk to load the bases.
So bases loaded with 2 outs here. It's a 1-0 ball game.
Odenbach comes out to talk to his pitcher, or Odenbach, the pitcher, is talked to by Berberich, the catcher. Dylan Stone, the batter. Dylan Stone didn't start the first game, but came in later. Had a couple of plate appearances. Excuse me, takes strike 1. Bases loaded. Vikings up 1-0. 1 run on 2 hits in the top of the first. And the pitch, way upstairs. 1-1. Bases loaded. Dylan Stone, the hitter. Takes a breaking ball off the outside part of the plate for strike 2. And the 1-2. Fastball called, strike 3. Dylan Stone goes down on strikes. So 38 pitches for Odenbach in the first inning, and the Vikings do come up with 1 run on 2 hits. They do leave 3 runners stranded. At the end of 1.5 innings, the Vikings lead it by a score of 1-0. You're watching Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
MLGC story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a 4th-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
Cheyenne Septic Service is your go-to for residential and commercial pumping of your septic and holding tanks. Plus, they provide pre-sale real estate pumping and inspection. Don't buy a new home or sell your current home without it. Cheyenne Septic Service is always on call 24/7 for any emergency services that may be required at your home or business. Call 701-317-2756. Cheyenne Septic Service, a local business in Leonard, North Dakota.
And we're back in Kindred. I'm Mike Bordier along with Brooks Huber. Mike Mason running the camera for us. Brooks Huber diligently working on the Magnitude Sports equipment here, bringing you this ball game. We certainly appreciate the sponsors bringing you this ball game tonight. This is the second game of a doubleheader. Both of these games count in the standings. It's Owen Hoyme, the pitcher for the Kindred Vikings. The Vikings did drop the first one to the Thompson Tommies by a score of 16-0. And we do a switcheroo here, and the Vikings are the away team in this game. Leadoff hitter Reese Berberich, the catcher, came in to pitch in the first game. Did a fine job catching and pitching. Had a nice day at the plate. The 1-0 pitch is outside. Or the 0-1 pitch is outside. It's a 1-1 count. Here's a pitch from Hoyme. Swing and a miss. Hoyme's the pitcher. Carson Krebsbach is the catcher. Bryce Whipple caught the first game. It's out in left field now. And here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Berberich goes down on strikes. So it looks like this. Hoyme's your pitcher. Krebsbach is your catcher. Over at first base, again, it's Carson Andel. Andy Trom out at second base. At third base is Grant Spellhaug again. Jack McDonald plays shortstop. And for the Tommies now batting, the third baseman, Braden Wolfgram, had a nice day in the first game. Out in left field for the Vikings is Bryce Whipple. Out in center field, Dylan Stone. And in right field is Zach Johnson. 2-0 to the count is the count to Wolfgram. Vikings lead it by a score of 1-0. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Again, this is a counter game. This counts in the standings for this Legion Ball Club for both teams. There was some scheduling snafu where we could not get a home game against the Vikings in Thompson. So we're playing them both tonight. Both these games count. Here's a pitch, fastball outside. And Wolfgram draws himself a walk. Brings up the shortstop, Thomas Schumacher, sports number 13. He had a nice game in the first game. Fall back to the screen for Schumacher. I would like to mention our umpires. They're doing a fine job this evening. Behind the dish, calling balls and strikes is Logan Riedel. And Grant Harding is the umpire out on the base paths. Thanks, gentlemen, for umpiring this ball game. Here's a pitch from Hoyme. Ground ball out to short. Let's see if they can turn two. Trom fields the first one, and they get the lead runner, but the return throw is not in time. Wasn't a routine double play. It was kind of slowly hit out to McDonald. He fed Trom out at second base to get that lead runner, and Schumacher reaches on a fielder's choice. 6-4 put out, and Wolfgram is sent down for the second out of the inning. Brings up the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, William Welke. Welke had a nice day at the plate in the first game. Later came in to catch. Here's a pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second base is not in time.
Great instincts right there to steal second.
Schumacher with a stolen base of second base. Now with the runner in scoring position, a base hit to the outfield should score a run. And here's a ground ball over to Trom over at second baseman. Second base, he fields it, throws it on to Andel for the third out. Routine play. Trom handled it beautifully. Nice throw over to Andel at first base. And after one inning, Kindred Vikings lead it 1-0 over the Thompson Tommies. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
We know it's a difficult conversation, but you can give your family peace of mind by sharing your final wishes. Pre-planning your funeral with the caring and experienced team at Bolger Funeral Home means your needs and requests will be honored. Take away the stress and burden of expense during their time of grief with the team your neighbors and community have trusted for generations. Schedule a meeting with Bolger Funeral Home and Cremation Services today.
For your remodeling and service needs on residential or commercial water heaters, sewers, drain cleaning, floor heating, and more, contact DJ's Plumbing and Heating in Castleton. The team at DJ's Plumbing and Heating has over 43 years of experience and is an officially licensed master plumber. DJ's Plumbing and Heating. Give them a call today at 701-347-5253 or visit them in person at 1002 Front Street in Castleton.
Welcome back to Kindred. Again, Mike Bernier along with Brooks Huber, bringing you Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. Vikings find themselves up 1-0. For the Tommies, Drew Odenbach started out on the mound. He is no longer pitching. It looks like number 5, Reese Berberich, comes in to pitch again. He pitched in the first game and pitched 1 inning and closed that 16-0 win out for the Tommies. He's on the mound again.
That's an interesting strategy right there for Thompson.
And it looks like the pitcher, Odenbach, goes behind the dish, and he's now the catcher. So the battery mates just flop a little bit. And the Vikings will lead off the inning with the right fielder, Zach Johnson. Leading off the top of the second, Zach Johnson. Never really did get our starting lineups in, but Jack McDonald leads off, playing short. Carson Krebsbach is a catcher, batting second. Grant Spellhog playing over at third base, batting third, as Zach Johnson takes a hack. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carson Andel is a cleanup hitter, playing over at first base, as Zach Johnson takes strike 2. Owen Hoyme, the pitcher, bats 5th. Bryce Whipple out in left field, bats 6th. Dylan Stone in center field, bats 7th. Strike 3 called to Zach Johnson. 2 strikeouts in a row. For the Tommies, this is the first one for Berberich. Strikeout looking, 1 down. And to close out the lineup, Zach Johnson, of course, batting 8th there, playing in right field. He goes down looking. Andy Trom, the second baseman, now batting. He bats 9th. Takes ball 1. Vikings up with 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Tommies. Swing and a miss by Trom. Reese Berberich on the mound for the Thompson Tommies. The battery mates just swapped. Odenbach started the game. Now he's the catcher. Line drive out into left field. Andy Trom with a 1-out base hit to hopefully get things started for the Vikings. Line drive single into left field. 3rd hit of the game for the Vikings. We're back to the top of the order. Jack McDonald started off the top of the first inning with a long drive over the right fielder. Sean O'Hearn out in right field for a triple. Later came around to score the only run of the game. Swinging a line drive into center field, but it's right at the center fielder. Man, the center fielder, Brody Gibson, came in, 2 or 3 steps and just watched the ball come right into his glove. McDonald gave it a ride. Nice low line drive out to center field. But the injustice of baseball, it goes as an out. 2 down, brings up the catcher. Carson Krebsbach struck out looking in the first inning, and he hits a high pop fly into shallow center field. Gibson's got a beat on it. He puts it away, and that'll do it for the Vikings in the top of the second inning. After an inning and a half of baseball, the Vikings lead it 1-0 with the Thompson Tommies coming up at the bottom of the second. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Cheyenne Septic Service is your go-to for residential and commercial pumping of your septic and holding tanks. Plus, they provide pre-sale real estate pumping and inspection. Don't buy a new home or sell your current home without it. Cheyenne Septic Service is always on call 24/7 for any emergency services that may be required at your home or business. Call 701-317-2756. Cheyenne Septic Service, a local business in Leonard, North Dakota.
Kindred. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball. On Magnitude Sports, the Vikings find themselves up by a score of 1-0. Again, the Thompson Tommies are the home game in this second game of the doubleheader. I'd like to apologize to the fans at home as we get our bumper music playing once again. That's okay. Sounds good.
I understand. I like the beat.
Yeah.
It grows on me.
But yeah, the game started a little bit sooner. I didn't even have a chance to write the lineups into the lineup card. I never did really say the lineup for the Thompson Tommies, but they got Reese Berberich catching and leading off. The third baseman, Brandon Wolfgram, bats second and plays at third. Thomas Schumacher, the shortstop, bats third. William Welke, the designated hitter, bats cleanup. And Brody Gibson, the center fielder, bats fifth. Drew Overby is over at second base, and he bats sixth. And leading off is Brody Gibson. He's the center fielder. Takes ball one. The seventh batter is Jonathan Muse, the left fielder, and in right field batting eighth is Sean O'Hearn, and Drew Odenbach is now the catcher, and he bats ninth. There's a ground ball out to second. Trom charges, throws on to first base. Not in time. Bang, bang play.
That was a photo finish right there.
Yeah, and I think the umpire got it right. It looked like a tie to me, and the tie does go to that runner. Yeah, but it was very close. That call really could have gone either way. Umpire right on top of it, called the runner safe, so that'll goes an infield single. Trom charged it. I think Trom did about everything he could have possibly done. He charged it, made the throw on over to first base, over to Andel. And a leadoff single puts a runner on first with nobody out. Hoyme steps off. Sounded like a bloody murder scream over there. It kind of scared me for a minute, but somebody was in the dugout yelling back in order to get the runner to go back. It's a beautiful thing about baseball is you can go in the dugout and yell pretty much anything you want as a runner tries to steal, and he's in safely.
And we hear a lot about it all the way up here in the press box.
I didn't know what that was. I had to kind of look around, and I realized what had happened, and somebody yelled back.
Well, it's funny when someone gets hit, they all start screaming ow in the dugout like they got hit themselves.
There's a chopper out to third. Spellhog charges. Throws on to first base in time for the out. Oh, the home plate umpire. The base umpire, they're doing their job. I tell you what, it looked like the throw had beat the runner and that he was out. Immediately, the base umpire pointed to Logan Riedel and said, "Did he pull his foot?" And he said, "No, he did pull his foot, so the runner is safe." I think that'll go as an infield single. I don't know that anybody made an error on that play. It was a tough play for Spellhog. He had to charge it and throw on the run. I don't think you could charge Grant Spellhog with an error there. And they're trying to draw a throw here as Overby just dances off first base and trots down to second base. He's trying to draw a throw in order to get the runner home from third. So it'll be technically a stolen base for Overby. Infield single for Overby. Runners now on second and third. Jonathan Muse, the hitter, number 11. He's got himself an 0-2 count. Owen Hoyme pitching out of the stretch. Trying to minimize the damage here. Fastball, strike three called on the outside part of the plate. Muse didn't like the call all that much, but I tell you what, it was way too close to take with 2 strikes. And he goes down on strikes, and there's 1 out. Sean O'Hearn, the batter, he's a right fielder, hitting in the 8 hole. Takes ball 1.
Pitching has been very good for Kindred in this game compared to the start of last game. They're really hitting their stride right now.
Infield was playing in for the Vikings. Next pitch is ball 2. But now the third baseman, Spellhaug, and the first baseman, Andel, will play in, try to choke off the run. There's a ground ball at the plate called foul. I believe that hit the foot of the hitter. Because if it hit the plate and went into fair territory, that's a fair ball, but I believe it hit the foot of the hitter. So the umpire immediately called the foul ball. It's a 2-1 count. The middle infielders, Jack McDonald at short and Andy Traum, are kind of playing halfway up the middle. Swinging a ground ball through the legs of Andel. That'll go into right field and score 1 run. Another run being waved home, and he'll come in safely. Now the throw comes through the infield, throw down to second base. In time for the out.
That'll be out number 2, and the official right there was very adamant about that call.
So what happens is a ground ball over to first base. It's an error on Andel. 2-run score on the error. And then the throw comes all the way through the infield, and then it'll be a 2-6 put out in order to retire O'Hearn for the second out.
You said a lot of things that I don't necessarily completely understand, but I'll take your word on that.
The next pitch is, it's all official scoring things. The next pitch hits the batter.
And do you hear the dugout right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they all got hit too.
Yeah. Drew Odenbach gets hit with a pitch. He's a 9th-hole hitter. Gets hit with on the first pitch. Thompson does take a 2-1 lead with that error. 2 runs scored on the play. And then the throw came all the way through the infield. Krebsbach went over and picked it up as a catcher and threw him out down at second base trying to advance. And here's a pitch. Fastball in there, strike 1. We're back to the top of the order. Reese Berberich, the hitter for the Tommies. And Owen Hoymie's pitch goes behind him. And in fact, it doesn't go behind him. Hits Berberich in the back. Puts runners on first and second. 2 hit batters in a row. So runners on board, brings up the second hole hitter. That's Braden Wolfgram. He's a third baseman. He walked in the first inning. Was later stranded at second base. Takes ball 1 outside. Vikings yet a run in the top of the first. Now Thompson with 2 runs in the bottom of the second and threatening with more. Ball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Brody Gibson and Drew Overby, back-to-back singles to start off this inning, and they later come around to score on the air. Three balls and no strikes now to Wolfgram. And he takes a peek at second base, and the 3-0 pitch down low. He walked him.
Bases loaded here now.
Bases juiced.
2 outs.
Big batter here, the 3-hole hitter, Thompson Schumacher. He's the shortstop. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Later stole the base, but was stranded at second. And they're going to have a courtesy runner for Wolfgram. It's possible that Wolfgram is the catcher. We were never really told. But the courtesy runner is Jordan Gustafson. He's number 14. I can't think of any other reason to catch. Yeah, it looks like Wolfgram is putting on the catcher's gear in the dugout. So we'll have to figure out where the starting pitcher, Odenbach, went to play defense. 0-1 the count. Now 0-2 to Schumacher. Big hitter here for Hoymie. He's got a deficit of a 2-1 score. And the pitch goes to the backstop. He's trying to score, and he's going to be thrown out at the plate. He got him. The ball went behind Krebsbach, but it took a favorable bounce for the Vikings, and Krebsbach was able to throw out the runner, trying to score from third base, and that's where they'll end on a 2-1 put out for the third out. Thompson Tommies do come up with 2 runs on a couple of hits, and there was a Kindred error at the end of 2 innings. Thompson leads at 2-1 over the Vikings. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
We know it's a difficult conversation, but you can give your family peace of mind by sharing your final wishes. Pre-planning your funeral with the caring and experienced team at Bolger Funeral Home means your needs and requests will be honored. Take away the stress and burden of expense during their time of grief with the team your neighbors and community have trusted for generations. Schedule a meeting with Bulger Funeral Home and Cremation Services today.
Does a ghost pepper wing that doesn't send you into tears make any sense? Sure does to us. That's why Popeye's ghost pepper wings are more flavorful than fireful. Because in NOLA, we like to taste our food, not cry over it. We don't make sense. We make chicken. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At Popeyes, we've got a feast for your family. Whether it's spicy or mild fried chicken or tenders, our brand new homestyle mac and cheese, or any of our other delicious sides, there's something for everyone at the table. Try it today and earn points with Popeyes Rewards.
All right, welcome back to Kindred, as the Kindred Vikings will lead off the top of the third inning with a hitter, Grant Spellhog, due up. He takes ball one. I think we figured out the defensive changes for the Thompson Tommies, as Spellhog takes ball two. Berberich is now on the mound to pitch. The first baseman, Braden Tice, moves over to third base, ball three to Spellhog. Tice moves over to third. Odenbach was pitching. He moves over to first base. And now catching. I lost my train of thought here, but I believe it was the third baseman, Wolfgram. Yes, Wolfgram, who was courtesy ran for, is now the catcher. I think we got things straight as Spellhog takes ball four. Walks on 4 pitches to lead off. Top of the third inning. There's a high pop fly in foul territory. Third baseman, Braden Tice, makes the play. Again, he started at first base, and he goes over and makes a foul catch over at third base. And Carson Handel's out on a pitch.
Coming to the plate, number 4, Owen Hoyme.
Owen Hoyme now the batter. He's the pitcher for the Vikings. Doubled to right over the right fielder's head. Scored the only run so far for the Vikings.
Huge shout out to Kindred's pitching. They had bases loaded and somehow got out of that without allowing any runs.
And here's a pitch from Berberich. Looks over at first, throws a breaking ball and a high pop fly. Shallow left field. Shortstop goes out and makes a catch. That's a shortstop, Thomas Schumacher. Owen Hoyme pops to short. After the walk by Spellhog, a 4-pitch walk, and then it's 2 pitches, 2 outs. I believe. Bryce Whipple, the batter, he's a left fielder. He walked back in the first inning, was stranded at first, swings and hits a ground ball hard down the left field line, foul. 0-1 the count. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Kindred Vikings. The Thompson Tommies post 181. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Top of the third inning. Here's a pitch, swing and a high pop fly, foul territory, into the trees, into the evergreens over there.
I do like the scenery around the field right now with all the evergreens. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very nice night today, save for the haze that's in the air and that kind of smoky smell from the blazes up in Canada. Here's a high fly ball to deep left field. This ball's crushed. That's out of here. A long 2-run home run for Bryce Whipple. That ball was smoked.
That's going to give Kindred the 3-2 lead right here with 2 outs. 2 outs, 2 strikes, and Kindred makes them pay.
Bryce Whipple with a 2-out, 2-run home run. A long drive over the left field fence. And that wasn't a majestic, high towering home run. That was just a laser beam out to left field. Whipple crushed that ball.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was going to have the legs to get all the way out there, but like you said, it was a line drive, but it was hit hard.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it would continue to carry out there, but the wind is blowing out, but that was not a wind-aided home run. That was just a straight laser beam line drive home run.
Exactly.
And more importantly, the Vikings take themselves a 3-2 lead. Dylan Stone, the batter, he hits one into foul territory and down the third base line. Braden Tice gives it a look, but very difficult play to make as you're running kind of backwards. You're not really sure where the ball's going to go, and it's very difficult to make that overhead catch down that line. 1-2 the count to Dylan Stone. And Burbridge's pitch. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, that's a second home run that I've been able to call since doing these games on Magnitude Sports. Unfortunately, in one of the games, I missed a grand slam. I mean, I was able to see the ball go over the fence, but I didn't see the ball get hit as Dylan Stone takes strike 3. So it's nice to see Whipple's home run and actually be able to call that one as Dylan Stone takes strike 3 and ends the half inning for the Kindred Vikings. After 2.5 innings, Vikings take a 3-2 lead on the home run by Bryce Whipple. And we head to the bottom of the third. Vikings lead at 3-2. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
Kindred Express Lane is a friendly, locally owned convenience store open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and offers hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Kindred Express Lane is located at 220 First Avenue South across the street from the baseball and football field, just 3 inches away from Highway 15 in Kindred. While you're fueling up, be sure and grab a snack and a cold beverage for the road. Kindred Express Lane wishes the Kindred Post 117 Vikings the best of luck. Go Vikings!
And welcome back to Kindred Vikings Baseball on Magnitude Sports. I'm Mike Bernier along with Brooks Huber. Mike Mason running the camera for us. Brooks Huber very diligently working the controls with all the Magnitude Sports equipment.
I'm looking at a lot of buttons right now. A lot of different colors.
Very glad you're here because I don't have the first clue how to run any of that. You're hitting buttons and making things happen over there, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever you got to do. 1-0 pitch, Owen Hoyme throws the next one. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball, strike 1. Leadoff hitter, Thomas Schumacher. He was at the plate when the runner was thrown out at the plate to end the last inning. Here's a little bleeder pop-up in between the pitcher and first base, and Hoyme wisely takes it himself. Andel wisely just tried to get out of the way.
He almost ran over his own teammate there.
Yep. Well,
he was on a mission.
Hoyme was on a mission. He was running hard, but if I'm a betting man, I got my money on Andel winning that battle in the collision. That's just me talking.
You know, I think you're right. I mean, I'm not a betting man myself, but
Andel's just a big, tall guy. Ball 1 to the designated hitter, William Welke. He sports number 12. 1 out.
Sometimes, though, the smaller guys, they have a lower center of gravity,
Yep.
so.
Oh, Hoyme was moving, don't get me wrong. Oh, nice grab by Jack McDonald. Line drive out to short off the bat of Welke. And Jack McDonald with a diving catch. Line drive to the shortstop. And there's 2 away.
And Kindred, they've really come to play for this game.
A game of momentum. Bryce Whipple hits a laser beam 2-run home run. And sure enough, we get a couple of nice defensive plays in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Strike 1 to the center fielder, Brody Gibson.
I mean, you see your teammates absolutely launch a ball like that. And as a team, you got to be fired up to now go out there and do your best. And that's what we're seeing here from this Kindred team.
1-1 the count. Here's Hoyme's pitch, swinging a foul to the screen. 1-2 the count. Brody Gibson, the center fielder, he singled in the 2nd inning, stole a base, and came around to score. He scored on that 2-run error back in the 2nd inning. And here's a pitch, foul ball, down the first base line. Past the first base coach. Looks like Brian Overby coaching first base. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fastball, ground ball, up the middle. Andy Traum fields it, throws onto first base in time for the out. Man, another bang-bang play. This time, the Vikings set the Tommies down. 1-2-3, a 4-3 put out. Tommies go down 1-2-3 in the third inning. At the end of 3, Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 3-2 over the Thompson Tommies. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors has been your local Kindred area realtor for over 10 years. She'll help you find the home you're really looking for. Growing up in Gary, Minnesota, and graduating from NDSU, Jamie has made her home in Kindred, proudly cheering on the home team in blue. Buying or selling? Make that call to Jamie R. Swenson at 701-799-1779 or visit connectwithjamie.com to browse new listings and listen to the Realtor Moms podcast. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors supports the Kindred players of today and hometown rookies of tomorrow.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School.
Welcome back to Kindred. We're back playing baseball. Zach Johnson leading off for the Vikings. Swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch. You missed one ball is all you missed. Berberich on the hill for the Thompson Tommies. The Vikings lead it by a score of 3-2. Top of the fourth inning. We are in Kindred, and just to explain again, once again, the Kindred Vikings are the away team in this game. This game does count in the standings, and so the Vikings drop the first game of this doubleheader by a score of 16-0, and they're on top here, 3-2, top of the fourth inning. Zach Thompson takes strike 2.
It's crazy how the game of baseball can be sometimes. Thompson goes up 16-0, and now they're facing a 3-2 deficit in this one. Small deficit, but that's a big difference between the last two games.
Well, that's why we play him. Ground ball over to third, fires across the diamond. That's Braden Tice over at third base. He fires to the first baseman, Drew Odenbach, and Zach Johnson is retired on a 5-3 putout, and there's one away.
Number 10, Andy Traum.
Andy Traum, the hitter, he's 1 for 1 of the day, lined a single to left his first time up. Was later stranded at first base. And here's a pitch. Fastball, line drive down the left field line. Well foul. Strike 1. Berberich with 32 pitches. Didn't pitch the first inning. Came in to close out the first game. He came in with a 16-0 lead. He was able to hold that lead down. In fact, he pitched a very nice inning. And here's a 1-1 pitch. Another line drive out to center field. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Trauma finds himself with a 2-for-2 day. Line drive single out to center field, a 1-out hit. Brings up the shortstop, Jack McDonald. Had that brilliant play out at shortstop.
Number 11, Jack
In the bottom of the third. Jack McDonald's is 1 for 3 with that leadoff triple. He later came around to score, and he flew out to center on a hard line drive. His next at bat. Check swing, foul back to the screen. 0-1 the count. Kindred Vikings now with 5 hits. And the pitch by Berberich. Checks a runner at first. Fastball over, strike 2. Three-2 lead for the Kindred Vikings over the Thompson Tommies. And the pitch, swing and a little looper out into right center field. This one might be trouble. Right fielder comes on and makes a nice running catch for the second out.
Very athletic play right there by the outfielder.
Sean O'Hearn, that's his name. He comes on and makes a catch.
Now batting for the Vikings, number 33.
2 down. That brings up Carson Krebsbach. He's 0 for 2 in this ball game. Struck out looking in the first, flew out to center field in the second. Traum on first base with 2 outs. Looking to get something started with 2 outs. And the pitch from Berberich. Swing and a miss by Krebsbach. And here's the 0-1. Swing and a high pop fly, shallow center field. On to make the catch is the center fielder. That's Gibson. Brody Gibson out in center field. And after a 1-out single by Trump, the next two batters go down on fly balls to the outfield. And after 3.5 innings, Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 3-2 over the Thompson Tommies. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Hey, it's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcast on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to them today.
Kindred Storage provides secure and affordable storage 24 hours a day. The units at Kindred Storage are new construction, isolated from water and snow, and are maintained year-round. The area is also well lit to ensure safe and easy access to your possessions day or night. Call 701-428-3121 for availability, unit pricing, and more information. Kindred Storage. You can find them online at kindredstorage.com. You can also find them on the north side of the airport in the city of Kindred.
Back. Beautiful Kindred, North Dakota. Nice evening tonight. Save for, again, that haze, that smoke that's coming from the Canadian wildfires. Kindred Vikings find themselves up on top, 3-2. I'm Mike Bordier, along with Brooks Huber. Brooks Huber running the controls for Magnitude Sports, doing a fine job. We got Mike Mason up here running the camera for us, multitasking, running some games out of West Fargo. Owen Hoyme on the hill for the Kindred Vikings. And he fires his first pitch. It's a ball low and away. Drew Overby, the second baseman, bats. He singled in the second inning, came around to score after stealing a base. Takes strike one. 1-1 the count. Overby started the first game and pitched 4 quiet innings, 4 shutout innings, and got the win in the first game of this doubleheader. Here's a ground ball tapped out to short. Jack McDonald has it, fires on the handle over at first base, and there's one away. 6-3 put out. Krebsbach has set down 4 hitters in a row, and he's gotten 5 outs in a row. To end the second inning, Drew Odenbach, the first baseman, was at third base, and there was a wild pitch. Krebsbach, the catcher for the Vikings, was able to field it off the fence, throw him out at the plate as Hoyme applied the tag, and that ended the second inning. Hoyme set the Tommies down 1-2-3 in the third inning, and now he's got the first out here in the first. Now he's got a 1-1 count on the left fielder, Jonathan Muse. Muse struck out looking in the second inning. Swings and hits a ground ball out to Traum at second. He's got it. Throws on over to first base, and it gets by the first baseman, Andel. Be a throwing error on Traum.
And it looked like runner could have easily got to second if he didn't trip over the base right there, but they're going to give it to him.
They're going to give it to him. The ball likely went into the dugout or somewhere out of play, so Muse will reach second. It'll be just the one error on the Vikings, and Muse will reach second base on that one error. Second error of the game for the Vikings. Here's a pitch, fastball upstairs to the hitter, Sean O'Hearn, playing in right field today. He reached on an error that's happened to score 2 runs. Here's a swing and a foul back to the screen. 1-1 the count. O'Hearn grounded to first and reached on that error. There's a foul chop at the plate, and it's called a foul ball. And then he tried to advance to second base when the throw came through to the infield, but Krebsbach, the catcher, picked it up and threw him out at second base. So a lot of action on that one play. It did score 2 runs. It's a 1-2 count on O'Hearn. Ball outside, 2-2. Runner on second. There is one out. Kindred Vikings with a 3-2 lead over the Thompson Tommies. Here's a pitch from Hoyme. Fastball fouled back over the screen. Count will remain 2-2. It's been a little while since a press box took a foul ball off the facade or off the roof here a little bit.
It's like you're trying to jinx us up here.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I got this nice pillar in my way. I think I'm safe. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Oh, foul ball off the press box, like I just said.
Seriously.
That was the closest it came to hitting that. You know, it was just below the little kind of the corner window over there.
Because I'll tell you what, my luck, I won't be paying attention. It's going to hit me right in the forehead.
Well, the one that hit the facade earlier, if that came in here, it would have hit me square in the side of the face because I was not watching the game at all. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Hoyme. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
That'll be the third Kindred strikeout presented by Tommy's Express Car Wash.
Second out of the inning. Hoyme with the strikeout. I'm counting 3 strikeouts for Hoyme. Odenbach is the hitter. He's the 9-hole hitter, now playing at first base.
Number 9, Drew Odenbach.
2 outs, runner on second. Hoyme looks on. And the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. Tell you what, often overshadowed is the umpires in this game. They've done a very good job communicating with each other, making sure they get the calls right. And quite frankly, we haven't really noticed the umpires today. That means
that's a good thing, right?
That means they're doing an outstanding job back there.
As fans, you don't really like to give credit to the umpires, but in this case, you really do. Hats off to them. They're doing a great job.
Well, for the umpires, we couldn't be playing baseball today. 3-0 pitches over for a strike to Odenbach.
So you're saying they're the real MVPs?
Absolutely. They can play baseball without me talking about it up here. It's very difficult to play a baseball game without the umpires. 3-1 pitch is over for a strike. It's a full count. Here's a full count pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove. Oh, my goodness. The appeal out to first base, or out to the second base umpire, said he did not go. I actually thought it was a foul tip. So that's what I called, was a foul tip into the glove. But they're going to rule that Odenbach did not swing, and he draws a walk, puts runners on first and second with 2 down. We go back to the top of the order.
There's got to be something in the air up here in the press box. You were just talking about the umps, and now they made one call that half each side didn't agree with.
Yep. And
just jinxing everything up here.
It kind of looked like he swung to me, but you know what? Without seeing a replay, as Berberich hits a foul tap up the first base line. But I'm watching it from up here. It's a very difficult call for the home plate umpire. He saw that the catcher, Krebsbach, made the catch, and he immediately appealed out to the second base umpire, and he's clear around that way. It's a much more difficult call out at second base, too. So umpiring is all about positioning. They don't have 4 umpires out here, right? So he couldn't appeal down to the first base umpire because there isn't anybody out there. Because there's runners on base, the base umpire's out there, and it's a much more difficult call to see if somebody swung when you're standing out at second base. It's easier to tell from our angle, but we're not umpires. Line drive over to Spellhog. He's got it. He knocks it down, and he runs over and touches third base for the force out. Berberich reaches on the fielder's choice. 5 unassisted for the third out. No runs for the Tommies. There weren't any hits either. At the end of 4 innings complete, Kindred Vikings lead it 3-2 over the Thompson Tommies. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. And welcome back to Kindred, North Dakota. Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 3-2. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Second of 2 games. Fastball from the pitcher Burbridge for the Tommies. Swing and a miss by Grant Spellhog. Spellhog has walked twice and scored a run. And the pitch, line drive into right field. That's a solid base knock into right field. Right fielder thought about making the throw at first base, but Spellhog hustling out of the box the whole way. You don't want to be that guy that gets thrown out by the right fielder on a line drive. So you hit that line drive and you bust it down the line to get that base hit. Spellhog has a 6th hit for the Vikings. Brings up Carson Andel, takes ball 1 in the dirt. Carson Andel reached on a fielder's choice in the first, popped up to third in the 3rd inning. 1-0 the count. And the pitch. Swing and a line drive out to left field. Left fielder's got it measured. That's Jonathan Muse out there. He makes a catch. Nice solid line drive off the bat of Andel. And there's one away. Owen Hoyme, the batter, he's the pitcher in this ball game. Had an RBI double back in the 1st inning, scored Jack McDonald for that first Vikings run. Popped out to the shortstop in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. Swing and a miss by Hoyme, and it's an 0-1 count. Burbridge throwing a nice ball game. And here's a pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen, 0-2. Burbridge did not start the game on the mound. He came in the second inning, I should say. Did give up that 2-run home run to Bryce Whipple. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Hoyme. Swing and a ground ball chopped out towards third. They'll go to second for 1. Throw on to first base is not in time.
And that'll be out number 2. So they tried to make a double play. We're only able to get the guy running to second. So that'll be a fielder's choice. And now with 2 outs, Thompson's trying to get out of this inning.
And here's Bryce Whipple. Takes ball 1. And we'll mention it once again because that ball was smashed off the bat of Bryce Whipple. A 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. Gave the Vikings that 3-2 lead. Got to apologize to the sports fan. This smoke and haze is making my voice crack a little bit, so I must have drank about 8 glasses of water here. Here's a 2-0 pitch. It's a called strike. 2-1 the count to Whipple.
Darn Canada, right?
2-1 the count. Runner on first, 2 down. Top of the 5th. Here's a foul ball back over the screen. It's a 2-2 count. Big Bryce Whipple. Playing in left field, he caught the first game. Whipple in this ball game is 1 for 1 with that 2-run home run, and he drew a walk back in the 1st inning. Stranded at first. Takes ball 3. Full count. Hoyme will be running. With a full count and 2 outs, he's going to be on the move. He's got to make sure the pitcher goes to the plate, and he does not. He throws over to first base to keep Hoyme honest. Burbridge up to 51 pitches. Not too bad of a pitch count. And here's a pitch. Ball up high. And Whipple draws a walk.
That's going to put base runners on first and second now with 2 outs.
Dylan Stone will be the hitter for the Vikings. Dylan has gone down on strikes twice looking, both for the 3rd out of the inning, back in the 1st and the 3rd innings. Takes strike 1 and a throw down to second base to try to pick off Hoyme, and the ball sails into center field, but not far enough for Hoyme to advance. Brody Gibson out in center field, backing it up nicely. Here's the pitch from the Tommies. Burbridge. Ball up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the 5th. Vikings lead it 3-2. And the pitch. Swing and a pop fly. Back out of play. Foul ball. 1-2 the count. Dylan Stone, right-handed hitter. Kind of a middle infielder. He could play the outfield. He's playing center field in this ball game. Scrappy young player. And here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. He struck him out.
That'll be a 5th strikeout for the Tommies to end the inning.
And at the end of 4.5 in the 5th inning, the Vikings come up with no runs. They did get a base hit. At the end of 4.5, they lead it by a score of 3-2 over the Tommies. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
MLGC story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a 4th-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
Since 1897, families in the Red River Valley have depended on Bolger Funeral Home during life's toughest challenge. With each generation, we're committed to continuing that tradition of care and meeting the changing needs of families, from expanding our facilities to offering new technologies. And through it all, one thing remains the same: caring and affordable service. Always. Bolger Funeral Home. At this time, count on us.
And we're back. Thompson Tommies batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. Leading off is a catcher, Braden Wolfgram. Kindred Vikings lead it 3-2. Owen Hoym is still on the hill for the Vikings. Next pitch is a fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes, and here's a pitch from Hoyme. Ball inside, 3-0 the count.
All the way back, no.
Hoyme looking to not walk the leadoff hitter of the inning. Throws a fastball. This one's down low, and it is a walk. Leadoff hitter Braden Wolfgram reaches first base on the walk, brings up the shortstop, Thomas Schumacher. He's 0 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st and grounded out to the pitcher in the 3rd. Hoyme keeping the runner honest at first. Fastball in there, strike 1. Schumacher did show bunt. Tommies would like to move that runner up, get him into scoring position to try to tie this ball game up. And here's a pitch. Breaking ball is upstairs. 1-1. Number 4, Owen Hoyme on the hill. His battery mate, Carson Krebsbach, behind the dish. Gets a sign. Fastball lined into right field. Back goes Zach Johnson. He makes a catch. Throw to first base. Will not be in time, but a very accurate throw by Zach Johnson right on the money. But the base runner, Wolfgram, was back in plenty of time. But man, Zach Johnson threw a strike from right field after making the catch, trying to double up the runner.
Now batting number 12, William Welke.
1 out, runner on first base still. William Welke, the designated hitter, steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out to second and lined out to short. Takes strike 1. William Welke, the designated hitter. And the pitch from Hoyme. Swinging a ground ball out towards short in the hole for a base hit. Hard ground ball by Welke. McDonald gave it his best effort, but it was just too far into the hole. For a ground ball single for Welke. Brody Gibson steps to the plate. He's a center fielder. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He singled in the 2nd inning, came around to score. and he grounded out to second back in the third inning. First pitch is a ball. Runners on first and second with one down. Hoyme trying to maintain the lead for the Vikings. And the pitch, fastball lined into center field. That's going to be in there for a base hit. And it gets past the center fielder. And here's the throw into the plate, and the Thompson Tommies will tie up the ball game. Dylan Stone had it bounce off his glove. Think we'll have to give him an error. It's a base hit, and then the runners advance on the error to second and third. So the fourth error of the game for the Vikings. But it is an RBI single for Gibson. Wolfgram scores. Welke moves up to third on the error. Gibson to second. Defense plays in. Fastball over, strike one. The hitter is Drew Overby, the second baseman. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Infield is in, trying to maintain a tie as the 0-1 pitch is outside and low, 1-1. Infield is in. Vikings trying to choke off the run at the plate. If they can.
I will say this game is a lot more enjoyable to call compared to the last one where it was 16-0. I like the closer games a lot more. I love a real pitcher showdown.
Despite the 3-3 score, there's been a lot more action than it feels like. You know, as a 3-3 score, there's just been a lot of interesting plays.
Well, yeah, both teams are implementing a bend, don't break strategy right now.
1-2 pitches outside, and it evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vikings with 3 runs on 6 hits. Thompson with 3 runs on 4 hits. And the pitch is down low and in the dirt. And that'll fill the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Kindred needs to throw a strike right here. Cannot afford to go bases loaded at this stage of the game.
First base is open. And the ball is inside, and it's a walk, and it gets by Krebsbach. The throw to the plate will not be in time, and the Thompson Tommies take the lead. Now Overby is going to trot down to second base to try to draw a throw. So he reaches on a walk. Welke scores. I believe that'll be a pass ball. And Gibson moves up to third base. Overby trots down to second base. And more importantly for the Thompson Tommies, they take a 4-3 lead on the pass ball. And there's still only 1 out. Runners on second and third, brings up Jonathan Muse, a left fielder. Now Oakley Duboard out to talk to the home plate umpire. Honestly, not quite sure what he's questioning here. It looked like just a straight pass ball, and the runner scored.
Maybe you just want to have a conversation, you know? See any fun movies recently? That type of thing?
It's very possible I missed something as I was watching Overby dance out to second base. Muse swings and misses. Strike 1. He's 0 for 2. He struck out looking and reached on an error in the 4th. 0-1 the count. Here's a pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Vikings still playing the infield in, trying to choke off that run at the plate. If they get that second out, then they can proceed to play back, fall back to the screen, still 0-2. Hoyme up to 85 pitches now. Hoyme throwing a nice ball game. For the Vikings, base hit to the outfield would be devastating to the Vikings because that could probably score 2 runs as there's 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Owen Hoyme. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out.
That'll be Kindred's 4th strikeout thrown of this ball game. Makes it out 2.
Second time Muse has gone down on strikes. Sean O'Hearn is the batter. He reached on an error in the 2nd inning and struck out in the 4th. Swinging a line drive into right field down the line. That's a fair ball and in play and likely extra bases. It'll be a stand-up double for Sean O'Hearn, the right field. A solid 2-run double down the right field line scores 2 runs as Gibson comes across from third. Overby scores from second. It's a 6-3 lead in favor of the Thompson Tommies. A 2-run double.
The Tommies have really come alive in this inning, scoring 4 runs and taking a 3-run lead.
Very timely hitting for the Tommies. Fastball called strike 1 to the batter, first baseman Drew Odenbach. He was hit by a pitch in the second and walked in the fourth. 0-1 count. Swing and a ground ball towards second base. Into the hole, into right field for a base hit. O'Hearn being waved around. Here's a throw to the plate, not going to be in time. And the Tommies lead it 7-3. A ground ball single, RBI for Odenbach. This goes O'Hearn, who had doubled. He scores from second base, and the Tommies lead it by a score of 7-3. You're right, Brooks. Thompson Tommies, with some timely hitting, jump out with 5 runs here in the bottom of the 5th.
They're really coming alive. It's crazy to watch right now. This is a lot like the first inning Tommies that we saw in last game, except there they put up, what was it, 11, 12 runs? 12 runs?
12 runs in that first inning, in that first game. We go to the top of the order, and Reese Berberich called strike 1. 1-1 the count. 90 pitches now for Owen Homey. Berberich is 0 for 2. Struck out, was hit by a pitch, and reached on the fielder's choice. Takes ball 2. 2-1 the count. And the pitch from Hoyme, swing and a foul tip back to the screen. Count rolls along at 2-2. 5 runs this inning for the Thompson Tommies, a 7-3 lead. Started this inning down by a run at a score of 3-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch by Hoyme. Gets his sign from his catcher, Krebsbach, and the pitch, breaking ball upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Owen Hoyme looks on. Here's a full count pitch. Ball outside.
That was really close. Almost too close to comfort right there.
Yeah, Berberich taking all the way. And the Tommies will send 10 men up to the plate, as we're going to get a courtesy runner for the runner on second, Drew Odenbach. He was playing first base, but maybe he's moved to catcher. Maybe he's coming into pitch. I'm not really sure. Trying to get a number on the pinch runner. I believe it's Isaac Beeland out there.
Yeah, number 5. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
And the pitch hits the batter, Braden Wolfgram, and that'll load the bases. So he's hit by a pitch. Sends Berberich down to second. Odenbach and this courtesy runner.
Now batting, number 12, William.
Makes it down to third base. So we got the bases loaded. Thomas Schumacher, the batter. He's the 3-hole hitter. Can do some heavy damage right here out of the 3-hole. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Schumacher's 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Grounded out in the third and flew out in the 5th. Here's the 1-0. Fastball inside. 2-0 the count. 97 pitches now for Owen Hoyme. Bases loaded. 2 down. 5 runs in this inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Down low, 3-0.
Not ideal for Kindred right here. They're 1 ball away from an RBI walk.
Hoyme pitching out of the stretch. And the pitch over for strike 1.
Great ball placement right there to get in the strike zone and give him a little bit more confidence at this at-bat.
And here's a pitch. Swing and a ground ball tapped out towards short. McDonald has it. He steps on the bag to end the inning. So the Thompson Tommies come up with 5 runs in the inning and take themselves a 7-3 lead after 5 innings complete. You're watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Cheyenne Septic Service is your go-to for residential and commercial pumping of your septic and holding tanks. Plus, they provide pre-sale real estate pumping and inspections. Don't buy a new home or sell your current home without it. Cheyenne Septic Service is always on call 24/7 for any emergency services that may be required at your home or business. Call 701-317-2756. Cheyenne Septic Service, a local business in Leonard, North Dakota.
For your remodeling and service needs on residential or commercial water heaters, sewers, drain cleaning, floor heating, and more, contact DJ's Plumbing and Heating in Castleton. The team at DJ's Plumbing and Heating has over 43 years of experience and is an officially licensed master plumber. DJ's Plumbing and Heating. Give them a call today at 701-347-5253 or visit them in person at 1002 Front Street in Castleton.
And welcome back to Kindred, North Dakota. I'm Mike Bernier along with Brooks Huber, bringing you Kindred Vikings baseball. Thompson Tommies jump out to a 7-3 lead over the Kindred Vikings, and we head to the top of the 6th inning. Leadoff hitter Zach Johnson, the right fielder, will bat for the Vikings, and he fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Nobody out, Todd. Helping out in the press box where I can here a little bit. Strike one to the hitter, Zach Johnson. Berberich still on the hill for the Thompson Tommies, throwing a nice ball game. He said did give up that home run to Bryce Whipple, but that's it. It's all he's given up since he's came into the ball game to start the 2nd inning. So over 5 innings of work, he's given up the 2 runs. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Zach Johnson in there for strike 2. Burbridge has thrown 59 pitches in this game. He did throw some pitches in the first game as well. Here's a high pop fly into left field. Left fielder Muse goes back and makes a catch, and there's one away. Kind of a lazy fly ball out to left.
Now batting for the Vikings, number 10.
And Zach Johnson is down for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Andy Traum. He's 2 for 2. And once again, Jackie Traum up in the press box here, handling the PA, doing an excellent job. Gets to introduce her son as the hitter. It's always kind of fun. Andy Traum, the hitter, 2 for 2, playing at second base. 2 singles, 2 line drive hits. There's a little bleeder pop up to the shortstop, and he comes in and makes a play. Shortstop Thomas Schumacher comes in to make that play. And we head to the top of the order for the Vikings in Jack McDonald. Jack McDonald is 1 for 3 on the day. He started off the game with a triple over the right fielder's head, came around to score, and he flew out twice. There's a line drive up the middle to the shortstop, Schumacher, and McDonald is out on a pitch. He hit it hard, but he's out. Line drive out. And the Vikings go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th inning. And after 5.5 complete, Thompson Tommies lead by a score of 7-3 over the Kindred Vikings. And you're watching Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports.
We know it's a difficult conversation, but you can give your family peace of mind by sharing your final wishes. Pre-planning your funeral with the caring and experienced team at Bolger Funeral Home means your needs and requests will be honored. Take away the stress and burden of expense during their time of grief with the team your neighbors and community have trusted for generations. Schedule a meeting with Bolger Funeral Home and Cremation Services today.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Does a ghost pepper wing that doesn't send you into tears make any sense? Sure does to us. That's why Popeye's ghost pepper wings are more flavorful than fireful. Because in NOLA, we like to taste our food, not cry over it. We don't make sense. We make chicken. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At Popeyes, we've got a feast for your family. Whether it's spicy or mild fried chicken or tenders, our brand new homestyle mac and cheese, or any of our other delicious sides, there's something for everyone at the table. Try it today and earn points with Popeyes Rewards.
And welcome back to Kindred, North Dakota. Kindred Vikings find themselves down to the Thompson Tommies by a score of 7-3 as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Thompson Tommies come to hit. New pitcher for the Vikings, Tate Miller, the left-hander. Number 45 comes on to pitch. Owen Hoyme did a fine job. Through 5 innings, had a little bit of a rough go in the 5th inning, and he moves out to center field. And Dylan Stone moves from center over to right field. Zach Johnson comes out of the ball game, and Tate Miller goes into his spot in the 8th hole in the lineup. So Tate Miller on to pitch. He's facing the leadoff hitter, the designated hitter, William Welke. Count is 0-1, and here's a high pop fly into right field, and nobody's got it. Looked like a ball that was catchable, but it falls between Owen Hoyme and the right fielder, Dylan Stone, and that'll go as a base hit. A single, long single for William Welke. It was kind of hit out into a little bit no man's land, but a ball that maybe should have been caught. Typically, the center fielder needs to take charge out there and decide who's making the catch.
It looked like there was just some miscommunication out there because they were both in position to make the catch. It's just maybe bad communication that led to the drop.
Tate Miller now facing Brody Gibson. Takes ball 1. Gibson is 2 for 3 on the day with 2 runs scored. A pair of singles. And here's a 1-0 pitch. In the dirt, the runner was going on the play, so he'll get a stolen base, even though the ball was thrown wildly to the plate and got by the catcher, Krebsbach. But he was stealing, so he'll get credited with that stolen base. And the count rolls along at 2-0. Tate Miller will be a junior this year. And here's a 2-0 pitch. Looks back to second, fires a pitch high, ball 3. Brody Gibson, the center fielder, at the plate. Thompson Tommies lead at 7-3. Here's a 3-0. Over for strike 1. Drew Overby on deck for the Tommies. Tate Miller looks back to second, and the pitch, swing and a miss by Gibson. Count rolls along at full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tate Miller to the southpaw, looks on, gets his sign, checks second base. Pitch is low, ball in the dirt, and the runner's going to try to advance, and he'll get there safely. That'll go down as a wild pitch. Moves up to third, does William Welke. Gibson draws a walk, and he reaches first base. Brings up the second baseman, Drew Overby. Overby scored a couple of runs this game. He singled in the second, came around to score, grounded out in the 4th, and walked in the 5th and came around to score. Nobody out, runners on first and third. Tate Miller on to pitch for the Vikings. Runner goes. No throw will be made down to second base as Gibson steals second base. Second stolen base of the inning for the Tommies. Pitch was a strike. 0-1 the count to Overby. And the pitch way up high. 1-1 the count. Miller trying to get the bats into the dugout. Try to score some runs. And here's a pitch. It's a high pop fly down the first base line. It'll be out of play. 1-2 to count. Brooks, we still haven't had a ball come into the press box.
See,
yes, I'm trying to jinx it.
You know, you keep saying that. It makes me think that you actually want us to get hit up here. But like you said.
Well, I won't say I want us to get hit.
Well, no, you got the pillars, so you're fine. It's open season for me.
Here's a 1-2 pitch from Tate Miller. Off-speed pitch is grounded out towards third base, past Spellhog into left field, and that'll score a run. That'll go as an error to the third baseman, Grant Spellhog. William Welke scores. Gibson over to third. Overby reaches on the air, E5. And for the Tommies, they take themselves an 8-3 lead.
And that's really the biggest difference of this game right now is the errors, because Kindred, they have 5 compared to Thompson 0, and now it's an 8-3 ball game. You can see how this game has kind of gotten out of control for Kindred.
Yeah, the last couple of innings have been detrimental to the Kindred Vikings. But Tate Miller trying to work through it. Here's a pitch, fastball outside, ball 1. The hitter now, Jonathan Muse, a left fielder. He's 0 for 3, struck out twice and reached on an error. That error was a big one. Scored a couple of runs. Actually, it wasn't on that error. Never mind, that didn't score any runs. But he reached on an error back in the 4th inning. 1-1 the count to Jonathan Muse, right-handed hitter. Runners on first and third, nobody out, 1 run in. And here's a pitch for Miller. Swing and a line drive into shallow center field. That's going to find some green grass and fall in there for a base hit and score a 1 more run. An RBI single for Jonathan Muse. Scores Gibson from third. Overby moves up to second base. And the Tommies have themselves a 9-3 lead. One more run, Todd. Tate Miller looks on. The runners go. The pitch is inside. And now the runner's stranded between first and second. Throw down to first is not in time, and the runner from second will move up to third base. Overby reaches third base on the play. No stolen base awarded since he was never actually stealing. And he just reaches third base on the throw. No error on the play. 1 ball and no strikes to the batter, Sean O'Hearn. He hit a huge 2-run double down the right field line in the 5th inning that really got things going for the Thompson Tommies back in that 5-run 5th. 1-0 the count. Tate Miller looks on, kicks and fires. Swing and a high fly ball, shallow center field. Hoymie's got it measured. He makes a catch. Runner from third will tag. The throw will come all the way through to the plate, but not in time to score the runner. It does freeze the runner on first base, Jonathan Muse. Overby scores on the sacrifice fly to center field for Sean O'Hearn. That's his 3rd run batted in. So it's a sacrifice fly to center field. 2nd out of the inning is recorded. I'm sorry, the 1st out of the inning is recorded. Getting ahead of myself a little bit.
Yeah, we've watched a lot of baseball. These innings kind of run together at this point after a doubleheader.
So the 1st out of the inning is recorded. It's an RBI for O'Hearn on the sac fly. Drew Odenbach is the hitter. Tommy's with a 10-3 lead now. And the pitch, ball upstairs, 2-0 the count. Muse on at first base. Reached on that base hit. And here's a 2-0. Down low, 3 balls and no strikes. Tate Miller looks on. Kicks and fires. Fastball up, outside, and he walked him. Muse goes down to second base, which brings us to the top of the order. For the Thompson Tommies, that's Reese Berberich, the pitcher. He's 0 for 2. He struck out, reached on a fielder's choice. He was hit by a pitch, and he walked. And here he is. Swinging a high fly ball into left field that's hit pretty well. Back it goes, and it's going to reach the fence. It's over the head of the left fielder, Bryce Whipple. Muse is going to come around to score, and it's going to be a long, long single for Berberich. Berberich a little animated there. He thought he had himself an extra base hit. Hit that ball. It bounced about twice off the fence. But
I'm surprised the base runners didn't go a little bit further on that one.
Odenbach was just kind of waiting to see if the ball was going to be caught. Didn't get a very good read on it. The ball bounced clear to the fence, and it'll be a long single for Berberich, but an RBI single nonetheless.
That's probably the longest single you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Right there at the fence.
Muse scores to make it an 11-3 ball game in favor of the Thompson Tommies. Ball one to the hitter. Braden Wolfgram, the catcher. And here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Braden Wolfgram walked in the first and the second and the fifth. And twice in the fifth he drew a walk. This man's got 4 walks today. Here's a ground ball out to short. Deep in the hole. Nice play by Jack McDonald, but no play. Very nice job for Jack McDonald to even field that ball, but he had really no play as an infield single for Wolfgram. Burbridge heads down to second. Odenbach is safe at third. Infield single for Wolfgram, who reaches 5 times in this game. 4 walks and an infield base hit. Brings up the 3-hole hitter, the shortstop, Thomas Schumacher.
Schumacher with a single or anything, he could really end the game right here as we're approaching the 10-run rule.
You are correct. And here's a pitch from Miller way upstairs, ball 1. Schumacher on the day, reached on a fielder's choice in the first. Grounded out in the third, flew out to right in the fifth, and reached on a fielder's choice in the fifth again. And the pitch swinging a high drive into shallow right center field. Dylan Stone comes on and makes a catch. And the throw to the plate is in time. We got ourselves a double play. A fly ball to right field, and Dylan Stone throws it into the infield in a beautiful relay, and we get him at the plate to turn ourselves a double play to get out of this inning. However, the Thompson Tommies do come up with 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kindred Vikings are coming to bat. So last hopes of putting some runs on the board and tying this game up or taking the lead. Kindred Vikings trail Thompson Tommies by a score of 11-3. You're listening to Kindred Vikings Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors has been your local Kindred area realtor for over 10 years. She'll help you find the home you're really looking for. Growing up in Gary, Minnesota, and graduating from NDSU, Jamie has made her home in Kindred, proudly cheering on the home team in blue. Buying or selling? Make that call to Jamie R. Swenson at 701-799-1779 or visit connectwithjamie.com to browse new listings and listen to the Realtor Moms podcast. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors supports the Kindred players of today and hometown rookies of tomorrow.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
New pitcher on for the Thompson Tommies. Center fielder Brody Gibson comes on to pitch and try to close this one out for the Thompson Tommies. Tommies lead it by a score of 11-3. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Again, this is a game that counts in the standings. Second game of a doubleheader. Thompson Tommies win the first one by a score of 16-0. They dropped 12 runs in the first inning of the first game on the Vikings and win it 16-0. This game was a very close game. It was 3-2 heading into the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Thompson Tommies dropped 5 runs on the Vikings in the bottom of the 5th, and they spot them another 4 in the bottom of the 6th, have themselves an 11-3 lead. Brody Gibson on to pitch. In the top of the 7th inning, Carson Krebsbach will be the leadoff hitter. He pitched a little bit in the first game. He came on in relief and did a fine job. He caught this game. Takes ball 1. Can't hit yourself an 8-run home run, so you got to scrape and claw yourself back into this ball game. Get some base runners, get some walks.
You got to find a way to chip away at it.
That's all you can do. It's not over till it's over. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a foul pitch. Foul ball, should say. 0-2 the count. Krebsbach struck out in the first inning, flew out in the second and to the fourth. He's 0 for 3. Here's the 1-2. Fastball upstairs. 2-2, I believe, is the count. And Gibson rocks and fires. Breaking ball. Looked pretty good. Called for ball 3. 3-2 the count. I say it looks pretty good. It looks good from over here down the first base line up in the air. I have no idea if it was close to a strike or not. Ground ball out to short. Fires on to first base. And there's one away. Schumacher with a nice play up the middle. Fires on to first base Odenbach, and there's one down.
Number 14, Grant Spellhaug.
Grant Spellhaug comes to the plate. He walked in the first, walked in the third, came around to score, and singled back in the 5th inning. Top of the 7th, Vikings down by a score of 11-3. Gibson kicks and fires. Strike 1 called to Spellhaug. Carson Andel on deck. And the pitch. Ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grant Spellhaug, he's got some power. But again, 8-run home runs are kind of elusive. Takes ball 2, 2-1 the count. Swinging a line drive down the first base line. Nearly takes out Connor Rowland, the first base coach. Also the head coach for the 13U Kindred White team. My son Sam plays on that team. Coach Connor Rowland as a coach. Here's a pitch upstairs. And the count is full. Spellhaug just trying to get on base any way you can. Here's a pitch, breaking ball down low, and he walks. That brings up Carson Andel. Andel reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, popped up to third in the third, and hit a laser out to left field, but he was out. Left fielder Muse caught it. Carson Andel, the hitter. And the pitch. Fastball inside, ball 1. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 5 errors for the Vikings. Thompson, 11 runs on 10 hits, and they have no errors today. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1 count. 1 out, runner on first. 8-run lead for the Tommies. And the pitch. Fastball down low and in the dirt and outside. 2-1 the count. Owen Hoyme on deck. Here's a 2-1. Pitch is in there for strike 2. Gibson looks over at first, throws a pitch. Hard ground ball towards the hole, but Schumacher's got it. He throws on to second base for 1, and on to first base to complete the 6-4-3 double play. The old math equation, 6-4-3 equals 2. And that's the end of the ball game. The Tommies turn a nice 6-4-3 double play to end this ball game. And at the end of the ball game, the Vikings drop this one to the Thompson Tommies by a score of 11-3. We'll be back. You're listening to Kindred Vikings Baseball.
Hey, it's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcast on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to them today.
Kindred Storage provides secure and affordable storage 24 hours a day. The units at Kindred Storage are new construction, isolated from water and snow, and are maintained year-round. The area is also well lit to ensure safe and easy access to your possessions day or night. Call 701-428-3121 for availability, unit pricing, and more information. Kindred Storage. You can find them online at kindredstorage.com. You can also find them on the north side of the airport in the city of Kindred.
Welcome back to Kindred. Kindred Vikings baseball team, the Legion B, drops a doubleheader tonight. 2 games that both counted in the standings. The Thompson Tommies win it by a score of 11-3 in the second game, and they outscore the Vikings in the first game by a score of 16-0. And Thompson Tommies come away with the sweep on the doubleheader. It was a very good ball game. There's some positives for the Kindred Vikings. Bryce Whipple with a laser beam home run out to left field, and gave the Kindred Vikings a 3-2 lead at the time. And but unfortunately, the Tommies come out and drop 5 runs on in the 5th and 4 more in the 6th, and they defeat the Vikings today by a score of 11-3. Brooks, what's your take on the games today?
Well, the Tommies, they came off the bus ready to play. 27 runs in 2 games is pretty remarkable, and only allowing 3 runs in that same span is next to crazy. And Kindred, it wasn't all bad. Like you said, they had some things that they did well, and there's some things that they have to work on and go back to practice. And the 5 errors is not great for Kindred in this game. That's something that should definitely be an emphasis heading into practice in the next games. But Vikings have a great team. Tommies just played better.
Yeah, absolutely, and you hit the nail on the head. They came out of the bus, and they were ready to hit. They were hitting the ball in that first inning, and they dropped 12 runs on that first inning out of the chute, and they came to play. And again, the Vikings dropped this doubleheader, 16-0 in the first game, 11-3 in the second game. And you've been watching Kindred Vikings baseball on Magnitude Sports. I'm Mike Bernier, and for Brooks Huber and Mike Mason, thanks for listening to the ball game. Thank you to our sponsors, and we'll wrap it up.
Broadcast was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.